All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 102. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guests. And we've got Google leaks, PS4 and iOS devices, EA skipping E3, Labo VR, Sekiro and Days Gone, and the Xbox SADE to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce some Lords of Podcasting who are not only good friends to the realm, but who truly provide a distinct insight on gaming news, cinema, and those powerful beings we respect from every comic book universe. Introducing one half of the Multiverse Show panel, which includes one of the most sarcastic podcast hosts in the game, the Lord of Chaos, and the owner of the keys to the Bethesda Kingdom, combined with the Gaming Gambino and Dawn of Deletion, and finished off by the Chief of Achievements and the infinite reoccurring guest of the Multiverse. Live from NC, Philly, and Canada, and for the first time making their debut into the realm of the Lords together, my man, Lord Anchorman V2, Mike P. The Truth, and Undead 3XVI Multiverse Show. How are you Lords doing?
Forgot biggest hater for Anchorman.
What's going on, boys?
Doing good. Glad to be on the show again, and not just as a random guest appearance.
Listen, you've got the most appearances on ILP. You know this, right? You know this.
Well, yeah, because usually how Anchor shows up on ILP is
Anchor's
usually
the +1. Like Anchor's the
Anchor pops in like he's the villain in the game. Like,
It's been on here almost every week for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, man. So what's going on? First of all, I'll start with Anchor. What's going on, sir?
Doing pretty good so far.
Oh, I see that Fallout cup. We lit. That's what's up.
Why you got that 76 cup? You better put that.
I got more than that.
Okay, I'm about to say because you know
Don't
that.
make me break out the Pit Boy mug.
Yeah, right. So now that's right there worse than Anthem. That's a cuss word.
Oh my Lord. No doubt. Good to see Anchor in the building. We got Mike P. The Truth, his debut out here. What's going on, baby?
What's going on, everybody? I have long awaited the day where I would infiltrate the Lords of the Lords of Iron to delete whoever and classify them as obsolete.
That was too much extra stuff.
That's fantastic. And he did that with that Iron Lord shirt on.
After that.
Yes, so good to have you, Mike. It's your first time. Long overdue. We've been kicking it for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here. Glad you guys had me on.
No doubt, man. And of course, the king of achievements himself, the new Rainbow Six Siege operator. What's going on there?
Oh, I'm just here. I'm chilling, and I guess I'm supposed to be filling in for Creepy Bite, so I guess I gotta be Italian. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, Ivan promised me pizza and beer, and I don't see any of it. So.
That's after the show. You gotta say
Okay. I'm not supposed to say anything.
payment. You don't get payment up front. Never that.
The Lord of Perspective in the building, man. Good to have you back, man. Good to see the Multiverse represented, at least half of the Multiverse represented. So that's good, man. So you know we already have the Lords of Gaming, those four horsemen, the original Lords of the realm. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. They got me on
switch
this
that up. You gotta switch that up.
Uh-oh.
You gotta say, my man, Epic Beard.
What's going on, man?
They got me on this Destiny on PC now, so been grinding on that and finally hit 500s.
That's what's up.
I did it like a day and a half.
I'm kind of jelly over here, you know, because I see you. He called you out. Hey, come over here and play with me on PC, be an elitist. And there you go. Bye. I'm like, damn.
No doubt, man. What else you been playing, man? That's it.
His mic went out. His mic fell into his bed.
He's just saving it for my segment. That's all. He's
ready to cut in your segment. Are you just not talking right now? Attic, are you there, sir?
No,
yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait, can you guys hear me? The audio cut out on my end for a little bit.
I thought we moved on. I thought we
no.
weren't talking about me anymore.
We was on your neck. We was on your neck. I just wanted to know if anything besides Destiny. That's all.
That's all. Destiny, more Destiny.
No doubt, no doubt. And of course, you know we have our most technical gaming.
My beard's always been level 500, John.
There we go. There you go. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Hello. What's up?
He should be called Cloud Master.
I'm confused. Is that Sovereign or Kid Smooth? Because that was a Kid Smooth.
Oh, really? I have a bone to pick. With the Iron Lord.
With me.
Yeah, all of y'all. Y'all a bunch of
Everybody be quiet. Let me hear what's up.
Yeah, y'all a bunch of suckers. Y'all wait till the week I'm not here to go ham on the Red Dead slander. So like unchecked Red Dead slander last week. Not feeling that.
You wasn't about that?
No, not about that. I already knew King's love for it was fugazi. I knew that. I knew once he got past the graphics, it was over.
Listen. I gotta call fraud on you.
No.
I gotta call fraud on you because you're going at me and you didn't even allow me to give you my rebuttal for what I did this week in it. So you out here jumping out the window.
Wait till you go. You can rebut, and then I'll take it back if I feel that.
I have a question for Lord King, real quick.
Why would you have a question for Lord King right now?
I got a question for him. You don't have to calm down.
Go ahead.
Are you gonna have an episode when the batteries to that die?
Yeah. It ain't gonna never.
You've been playing that quite a bit, man. They're gonna die eventually.
Right. Well, you keep on wishing.
Yeah, so I was not feeling that slander. I read, 4 guys. I love you guys, but y'all in the bushes. Don't come back. I think Inferno, you cool. I think you were cool, but everybody else.
Clowns went in. Clowns
went in. I love you, bro.
You're disowning people that don't like Red Dead now.
I love you, bro, but you gone. Don't come back to the realm.
You've been in the bushes since you said you like that shit. So I don't know what to tell you.
This is coming from the man. This is coming from the man that played Kingdom Hearts twice. You did that to yourself twice.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. That is correct.
I definitely play more stuff than you do. So you can't sit here and come at me and acting like I don't play games.
When did I say you don't play games? I said you like whack games. That's all I said. When did I say you didn't play games?
So you go sit here and act like every game I play is whack.
No, just that one, just the one that I pointed out right now.
Today Sovereign has been away for a week and he back with bullets.
He back with shots. What have you been playing, Sav? What's going on, man?
Dude gonna make me have to go Super Saiyan on his ass.
Mm-hmm. Language and let's go. Guys, what you been playing, man? Sav's in the bushes. What is going on with the podcast?
I LED'd him.
Probably did. Addict EMP. Here we go. You hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, it was the Addict EMP. That's what it was. I just played some DMC5. That was it. A little bit. That's all I got to play.
Is that a topic?
No, not today. No. Not today.
I'd like to talk about that actually.
You're talking through everyone's segment, by the way. Jesus. This man get a camera and talk to everybody. And when you get to his segment, he quiet.
Hell yeah. He just says hi.
Hi.
Now he's got to make up for Mr. Episode 100.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and we have some Patreon stuff at the end of everything. We didn't forget about you guys. All right.
No doubt. That's what's up. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Access Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing so great. I'm doing so great. I gotta have on shades today because these eyes as big as golf balls, all puffy as hell. It's not going down. You're not gonna be shaming me today. I had to wear this war-ready shirt. You see that? The general's in charge. He's here definitely to keep Attic and your man Fallout 76 in control. Last night it was an epic night. We had drinks, food, and being merry, hanging out with lords of realms of their own. Shout out to 108 Dragon TV, aka Lametius. Shout out to Tim Dog. Shout out to the giant Megatron. It was and in no particular order, it was an epic night. We were at a nice restaurant serving up giant T-bone steaks that I can't eat, but hey, it was definitely a great night. It was a great night all the way around. What I've been playing this week? Destiny, the Drifter stuff.
Yes, the Drifter.
Apex. Shout out to L Boogie for throwing me in the bushes with all you Anthem players. I've been playing Anthem. Now, I told you guys that I would not buy that game. I will not play that game unless somebody gifted it to me. She waited until I was in the party. She said, "Yeah, watch this." So I'm playing. I'm thinking it says a message on my Xbox, right? And I'm thinking that's Division saying it's ready to download. Division ready to download. So I clicked the button. It said you got a gift from L Boogie. Shout out L. Anthem, bro. I was like, man, I can't hit back. We send
because you talked a lot. You talked a lot about it.
And I point out the fact that King, you are buyable.
So no. I listen. You're not buying. Your price tag. My price tag was out from the jump. So you can't sit there and say I had a hidden price tag and I was like, no one can buy me. No. I told you if that happened, I would do it. And I was playing it all this week. Every time that they were on, I was playing with Monkey, I was playing with Chris, and my first experience with it, I was solo. Like I'm out there and I'm like, oh, I hate this game so bad. You ever play something, but you just playing it because somebody's like they forced you to,
like Busy when he forced me to play Ark.
Yeah, it was like my older brother put me outside to fight somebody. And I'm like, I don't wanna.
I'm just gonna need you to do me a favor. I'm gonna need you to lock that fraud alert. I'm gonna need you to do that for you.
I can't fraud alert myself if I told you if somebody gave it to me.
No, I don't give you that. Hey, listen. If you talk that much about the game, would you play at all?
This is how fraud works, Attic. If I said, "Oh, this game is garbage, it's trash," and y'all saw me online, getting it in like
that is different. That is different.
Right. So when I'm playing with them, I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna front. The feeling of superiority that you have over the enemies. When you're with your friends and you're comboing and you're doing supers and you're shooting and you're moving, I'm out there level 2. These dudes is level 30. I'm playing on Grandmaster and not dying. All right, I'm out there picking people up. Little did I know that the game was broken to the extent that I can have this gun that can do more damage than whatever guns they have. Because I was like, I'm putting them down. Boop, boop, boop. I'm like, they was like, yo, how are you still alive? I said, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Later this week, I found out that the game is severely broken to the point that you get a level 1 gun that can actually be there, stand the test of time. But
I'm not going in on you. They saying bend the knee. Someone out. They going in.
Yeah, but what y'all
don't worry, Chad. I'm gonna buy me a fraud alert. He won't fraud himself, so I'm gonna have to fraud him for us.
Y'all must also say that I stayed true to my word. Now, if somebody would have got the game and I still would have refrained from playing the game, and I still would have said, "No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go." Then that's being a fraud.
So it's been a lot of Anthem for you then.
It's been a lot of it. Right now, I'm level 15. I don't have any masterwork, anything. I'm still learning the tower. I'm still learning how the structure of the game goes. but I can see that where they put a lot of their self into the game. You know, I would tell people don't skip past the story. Like, y'all complain that Destiny doesn't have story. They actually giving you dialogue trees for characters. They're actually giving you story lore around the world. So if you're gonna play Anthem and you want one of those Destiny people that is not enough story, then don't skip any of the damn story and get all the story, because I don't want to hear, oh, Anthem has no story, because it has a hell of a story.
Anthem shoves that story
I'm just
down
confused. I'm conflicted.
Yeah. Why are you conflicted? You conflicted. What happened?
Going with me with this Anthem thing. Now you're gonna jump ship?
No, I'm not telling you
You
that.
are on the Anthem Kool-Aid right now. It's got a story. Don't skip Anthem.
No, if somebody told me, yo, should I go buy this game? I would say hell to the no. I would say don't put your money, do not invest a nickel in this game. I also told you somebody gifted it to me. Now, would I have taken my money and brought this game? Hell to the no. But you know what L Boogie is having fun with? Me right now having to explain myself in front of the audience. Right now,
a whole thing, yeah.
Right. I told her she had to get on the show, but I don't see her yet. And I'm the only one standing here.
That's in the bushes.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're playing, what was that, Kingdom Hearts? So I guess you're in the bushes.
That's the new thing. When I brace something up, you guys got to hit me with that.
Yes, we got to tell you out here frauding with Kingdom Hearts.
I get you.
Thank you.
Anyway, it's me, LordCognito.
I had to interject to stop it.
I'm here. You know what it says. Spread that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Same as King, season of the Drifter, a little bit of our Starlink for the Switch, and prepping for that Division launch on Tuesday. So I'm excited, man. A lot of stuff going on. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot of show, and we got into what the Lords have been playing. So I want to start off with Lords of the Multiverse, their video game system history. Now, mind you, both Lord Anchorman and Lord Undead have received the royal treatment before. Please check out ILP number 1, Anchorman. That's when you was on. ILP number 1. Actually, we were ILI back then. We had an intervention series. So Anchorman had some great,
like number 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And I got more seniority than you do, Attic.
He was there too.
Man, first off, I was pre-1. Okay, so you have to take your little nonsense and go somewhere else. Okay.
So anyway, so that was him, and then obviously Undead, we had him on ILP 71 for some great and hilarious history. But we want to talk about that, Mike P. the Truth, and as well the formation of one of the most unique podcasts out there, the Multiverse. So let's start with Mike P. the Truth. Your video game system history, what got you into gaming, and let's talk about it, man.
So I mean, I've been gaming since I was like 3-4 years old. First system I ever had was a Mattel Intellivision, if you could believe that. So this is going way back. This is the one where the controller had the little dial pad on it with like the little phone number clicker pad on it.
Let's go.
That was crazy. So I've had basically every system that since then, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. The only system I haven't owned, regrettably, is a Saturn. I've always wanted to own one since that.
Don't worry, you ain't missed nothing. If you got the Dreamcast, you ain't missed nothing. I'm hating. Stop.
Hey, wow.
Blatant
disrespect.
Wait.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because since we're talking about gaming history, my opinion is the Dreamcast is the greatest console of all time.
Oh, that's for sure.
Like hands down. That's the greatest console of all time.
But that Saturn didn't reel you in. Let's just call it what it was. The Saturn didn't appeal to you for whatever reason, Mike. It didn't appeal to you.
It didn't appeal to me back then. But one of my favorite fighting games of all time is Primal Rage, and the best home version of Primal Rage is on the Saturn. Yeah, so I've been trying to find one so I could play that, but a lot of the game shops by me don't have them. But that's basically it, man. Like I said, I've been gaming since a kid, still gaming to this day. You know, PS4, Xbox, Switch. So
now let me ask you this, because I know you as a person who really likes like wrestling and follows for wrestling stuff like that. Now, did you have a 64? Did you get into any of those wrestling games, or even on PlayStation, or even further on?
So, best wrestling game. I would say that I've ever played was on the PS2. Here Comes the Pain.
Oh, okay.
Here Comes the Pain was great. Here Comes the Pain was great. And also on the N64, WrestleMania, I think it was WrestleMania 2000. On the N64 was a good one too.
Kid, isn't that the one we used to call with the black mouth when they opened it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was an Aki game. That was an Aki game. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was Black Mouth. I found that out. It was
Black Mouth.
We were playing and they opened their mouth. I said, "Oh,
Yo,
from Black Mouth."
Yo, Mike, Kid Smooth was with you. He said those was classics. He said, "Here Comes the Pain" was fire.
Here Comes the Pain was fire.
That's what's
it
up.
It really was.
So wait, Mike, you never got a chance to play the N64 games, the No Mercy, none of that. You never experienced.
WrestleMania was that, but it was the next.
It was the later
one.
version. Yeah, you're right.
I never played the original one though, but I did play the WrestleMania 2000. That was good.
That was really good. Yeah, because it was.
Yeah.
Was that the one you could create your own pay-per-view and all that too? Or that was later?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was in there. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. No doubt. So then you just transitioned to the 360 and
honestly, that's another one. I never owned a 360.
Wow.
Never owned a 360. That gen, I was PS3 and the Wii. That gen, I didn't own a 360. That gen.
Oh, man, you okay?
Wow.
Ivan, we need to throw this man in the bushes. This man just said that he owned a PS3 and a Wii.
You guys act like you don't already know that.
I actually did. I would have called you out for your fraudery a long time ago. Man.
They brought you on so that we could, ambush you and do that.
No, I feel sorry for him, man.
You got to explain yourself, Mike. Like, what happened? Were you just not into gaming at that period? Like, what happened with no 360?
I had PS2 for a while. Like I stuck with that for a while, that gen. Mm-hmm. Then it was like 2008, 9-ish. Mm-hmm. I got the Wii, and then 2010 I got my PS3. So I kind of missed the early part of that gen. I didn't really get started with that gen until closer towards the middle.
Oh, okay. When
that makes sense.
Started to gain some ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's up, man. Some good history right there. Now, Lord Anchorman, I know we had talked about you at ILP #1, and I just need to know because when we had Undead, I gotta get some confirmation on stories. So let's talk to you, Lord Anchor, as far as the formation of the multiverse. How did this start? And I also want to shout out the remaining members of Fame Entertainment, Sam Tolbert, you know what I'm saying, and the James Wilson. So let's talk about it. How did this whole thing come together, sir?
So originally, whenever I started Multiverse Podcast, it was a pre-recorded show between me and Cal from Tick Podcast.
Shout out to
Cal. Before I was a part of Tick, before I anything like that. We did pre-recorded shows. We did like maybe 4 episodes, and we were like, "This is stupid. I'm tired of pre-recording this and editing this. This is just a pain in the ass." Mm-hmm. And so we stopped doing the show, and then I brought it back, but I brought it back with Fame. Mm-hmm. And we did Fame Entertainment, and I started the show back, and we kind of did more like as a guest show.
Okay.
So we grab some random people, or we grab industry types. We just have random people on. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you have no idea if it was going to be like, oh yeah, this is some dude I just met randomly in a party, or oh yeah, this is a low key developer. Mm-hmm. You have no clue. Wow. That was the idea, and it was always just random. So over time, we did that for a bit, and I got into a bunch of gaming groups. That's where I met Undead, and we were in a gaming group called We Game Here.
Yep.
And during that time, I was on my Fallout 4 Reign of Terror. And so just constantly harassing people with Fallout stuff.
Was the Fallout 4 promo train in full swing at that time?
Oh, man. People were legit pissed. People tried to get me banned from the group for posting hype for Fallout 4. It was really funny. But so Nick and I met each other through that. Mm-hmm. I got him on the show at that point. It wasn't too long, was it, Nick? It was like maybe like episode 15 or 20 or something like that.
Yeah, that was back when you guys used to do seasons. I came in on season 2, I believe.
Yeah, the way we originally did it was we figured it more like a Netflix season because doing a show every single week, people get tired of that. Things come up. Yeah. And so what we would do was we would say, okay, this is season 1, and we would do 1 episode a week every single week. Mm-hmm. But if we do that for 13 weeks, then take a break for a month.
Right.
And we did that for a bit. So season 2, we brought Nick on, and he stuck, and he just really worked for us. And so we were like, all right, cool. And so we kept him on.
So Nick's story is true, or that story is true with the infinite reoccurring guest. That's how he became part of the podcast.
Yep. And then after that, we joined TikTok. We joined Tech Network, and we did our projects there and worked through that, and it was great. And so during that time, that's when we met James, and James was one of our writers, and he was doing another show called Tick United, and it was like him and somebody else, and they were just talking movies. And so we're like, all right, well, that's fine. We'll figure this out. Right. And so we asked him, like, hey, you want to come on? Because Tick United wasn't really working out, wasn't grabbing a base, and we got him on board, and we kind of expanded the podcast to the movies. So we're like, all right, cool. So we did that for a little bit, and over time, like we really kind of developed what our podcast was about, like just having a good time, talk about whatever.
Nice. And
over time, I want to say, was it 2016, Mike, where you and I met?
Yeah, it was 2016.
Okay.
It was about 2016, and it was Martin Luther King Day.
Holler.
Yes, great story.
So I'm on Twitter, and I see an individial called JTech TV.
Shout out to
those of you who don't know who JTech
Shout out to JTech.
Not going to get too much into it, but he
Porter of the
he goes hard for PlayStation.
Yes, he does. He reps PlayStation very hard.
Yeah, he goes hard for PlayStation, and I just happened to see something. I think it was J-Main from Press Start Podcast.
Oh, shout out to PSP. Yes, sir.
And so I just happened to see this conversation, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what's going on. And I see Mike had asked JTech about like his PlayStation Legion profile picture.
Yes.
And he said, like, hey, can I get one of those? And what was it? Didn't he ask you do you play? What was it, Mike? He
wanted to know what I played on at the time, and I said to him, I have a PS4 and I got a Wii U. I had a Wii U at the time, and he says something like, "Nah, man, this is only for PlayStation gamers. No dick riders allowed."
Whoa!
Wow! Whoa!
Language. The Lord's
there. It's okay. And so I see that, and so we just start roasting JTech in the chat. We just start going at him, and what was it? I posted I only tweeted one thing at JTech. I got blocked so quick. It was something like, I long for the day where we can judge a man not for the console which he owns, but the content of his game, like his game log or something.
Like you do with Bethesda.
So quickly. And so that's how Mike and I met. And so we started talking for a bit. And we got him on maybe a month or two after that.
Yeah, I would say about a month.
Really well.
Okay, cool. That's what's up, man. So then they expanded, and then like I said, so pretty much initially the foundation of it was always from the beginning was going to be gaming and comics and cinema. Was that always the initial goal for Multiverse?
When we started initially, so when during the Cal era, it was more of a comics movie stuff focused group or of a show. But then whenever during the Fame era, we were mostly gaming at that time. I mean, we would talk about okay, if a superhero movie came out, we were going to talk about that because we were both interested in that, and that was something that I think most people would get into as well. But when we brought James on, we became more of a cinema podcast and having that extra focus. So it gives people a little more flexibility. And as you guys are quite aware, sometimes people tune out during certain sections.
Yes.
So yeah, So yeah, we've kind of always been like a catch-all podcast, just kind of hitting up whatever we need to be.
No doubt. And Lord Undead, also aka the Lord of Perspective, joining that crew, manning it. You know what I'm saying? So you figured you stick around, huh?
I show up when I can. I'm not as frequent lately because my wife's doing some online schooling to become a nurse. So I'm a lot more inconsistent than I used to be. But I still make it out when I can, and I always enjoyed myself. And like I said, there's nobody that I've met in the Twitter space that I would have met without being on Multiverse and getting to know everybody and everything else, because I didn't even have Twitter. I was like, if you're going to be on podcasts, you got to be on Twitter. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. That terrible idea.
You into it too, right? That's exactly what Cognito did to me.
Yeah, I got duped too. I got it too.
If you want to go to FanFest, you need to have Twitter because that's how they talk. I'm like, okay. Oh God.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Edgar, man, spreading the evil influence of Twitter to everyone. That's what's up. No doubt, man. That's what's up, man. Good little history. And then, so what about my last question, Egg? Give me the order of Multiverse members as far as when they came on. Who was like the last person to come on?
Sam.
Oh, so Sam was
Colbert.
Gosh,
he was the last one.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. Good little history going on. So, we got to ask the lords here of the Multiverse the top 5 question. So, we're going to start with Mike P. The Truth. Mike, I need those top 5 video games or franchises of all time, sir.
So games or whole franchises?
Either or. Whatever is most important to you.
All right. So, if you're asking me my top 5 games of all time, I got to go. Number 5, Gran Turismo 3 on the PS2.
Ooh.
Number 4, I probably gotta go. Resident Evil 3 is number 4.
Resident Evil 3.
Resident Evil 3. That's still like the remake. Resident Evil 2 was up there. That's number 2. But
so
Resident Evil 3 is still tops to me. Yep.
Yeah,
Nemesis was great.
Mm-hmm.
That was 4. If I gotta go number 3, I'm going Final Fantasy X. Number 2.
What you got?
I'm probably going to say number 2. I'm going to go. Well, number 1 is Shenmue. Number 1 is definitely Shenmue. Number 1 is Shenmue. Number 2, I'm going to go Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, number 2. It's true.
Well, hold up. Did Mike just list a stealth game in his top 5?
Those are the. Everybody knows I don't like stealth games, especially games where they force you into doing stealth. But the original Metal Gear Solid trilogy, like Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and also Twin Snakes, those games I loved. I love those games. Those are the only stealth games I can honestly say I ever really enjoyed.
I gotta ask you about the 10. That is unique. Like, shout out to the chat. Everyone thinks that's unique. So 7 didn't impact you the way 10 did.
I thought it was good, but I thought 10, as far as the storyline, the characters, the world, the summons, it just had a bigger effect on me. Also, 10 was the first one that had voice acting in it too, so it made it a little bit more impactful.
That's what's up, man. What you say, Attic, about it? His 10?
It's one of my favorite Final Fantasies too.
And I'm also one of the people too. I think 10 too gets a bad rap. I liked 10 too.
No, I'm not about that life. So you can go promote that one.
Now, what don't you like about that? The combat was fun. The storyline was a good continuation for Final Fantasy X. I don't understand what everybody doesn't like about it.
I don't like the way they went that direction. They brought some chick named Pain on there that they explained who she was, but you had to play like half the game to figure it out. They completely got rid of the sphere grid that made 10 special. Like, nah, I'm not about that life.
No doubt.
And I got like probably 2 days in that game. I'm just not about it.
That's what's up. Now, last question, Mike. You got one of my favorite near and dear franchises as your number 1, which is Shenmue. I need you to explain to the people why that was on your number 1 list.
What that game did for the time was nothing short of revolutionary at the time. I mean, the fact that you could go through Ryo's house and you could open drawers and take stuff out of the drawers, like no other game was immersing you in the world like that at that time. It was just crazy. It was crazy. No other game was like that.
We had a day-night cycle.
Yep.
Get a job. You could go to
get a job. You had to go home and go to bed. You could buy stuff out of the vending machines. It was great.
Arcade perfect games that you can play in the arcade. That was nice.
Yep. But they had what was it, D King? They had Hang On
and Space Harrier. Space Harrier and Hang On.
Fully emulated, man. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Bone. He said Shenmue was the first real game. Yeah, it felt like a real game, like it was a life simulator. Like it was just crazy for its time, man. Good list, Mike. So I got it. We got Undead back. So Undead, I need to know, do we have any revisions to your list? Last time you were on ILP 71, you had Hitman, Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, Halo, and God of War. Does that need revising?
Oh, that needs revising because for the simple reason is back then I was still running on a laptop, so I picked up a PC again. More recently, got a nice little desktop, and I started diving back into some of those great '90s PC games.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you,
here comes Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, here comes Baldur's Gate. I can feel it.
Yeah, no, Baldur's Gate 2 and all 8 discs of it are the best.
All right,
the
so
best.
hold on. Who comes off the list then if it's Baldur's Gate?
Oh, for Baldur's Gate?
Does Hitman come off the list? Does Metal Gear, Splinter Cell, Halo?
Splinter Cell goes off the list for Baldur's Gate.
Ooh. Splinter Cell in the bushes.
And I'm going to tell people right now, if you want the pure 90s FPS genre, if I want to give you an encapsulation of the best part of PC FPS gaming in the 90s, go on Steam right now, and for I think $4 you can pick up a game called Redneck Rampage.
Yes, I remember that.
Go pick that up and you can thank me later.
Addict, what is it, autobiography addict?
Oh, wow. That was a low. Wow.
Jesus. Oh,
That was low-key racist.
Anyway, don't get him started.
Here comes the EMP. It's coming.
So Nick, Horizon Zero Dawn's not in your top 5?
Okay, listen here, Mike. We got to throw down about
Horizon Zero
Dawn.
words, man.
Sir, I gotta ask you because you brought this up and you almost put on your game of the year list. How does it feel when you boot up NBA Live and boot up the multiplayer and all you have to play against is Kid Smooth because you two are the only people that play that game?
Nah, here's the story. Here's the story. Every time on Multiverse, we do a Game of the Year show, Game of the Generation show. Horizon Zero Dawn comes up, and then it comes to Nick's turn to do his vote, and he goes, well, you know, I don't really like it, but I'm just going to vote it ahead of all these other games anyway.
Look, I have explained my Horizon Zero Dawn defense endlessly. It's one of those things. I don't like the game. I don't think it's that great. But when 9 out of 10 people disagree with me, then I'm wrong. And my I could sit there and it's like everyone trashing the Addict for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is an amazing franchise. Put some respect on its name. But Horizon Zero Dawn,
Birdman. Well, put some respect on my name.
Listen, all I gotta say is that Horizon Zero Dawn, when the sequel is done, if they have better melee combat, facial animations that don't look like Mass Effect Andromeda, and give me voice acting that's actually worthwhile, I'm there day one.
Wow. So you want a completely new game?
Yeah, you got it.
He said, you got it.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And Lord Angerman, I went back and dug in the crates, man, and we had you on at the time. It was ILP.
on YouTube?
That is actually not on YouTube, but if you want those old archives, go to our SoundCloud. Go to Iron Lord Podcast.
So I delete them.
Yeah, ILI. We were the Iron Lord's intervention. We were trying to convince Anchorman to play Destiny at that time, and he gave us his history. But at that time, we weren't doing top 5, and he only had 2 games on his list, which was Fallout New Vegas and BioShock. So, Lord Anchorman, I need your top 5 OG list.
If you say Fallout 76, I will EMP this podcast.
What you got, Egg?
Oh, you cut out for a second. The EMP was coming through.
By the EMP was, he cuts everybody out. All right, so back at the time of ILI number 1, you had Fallout New Vegas and you had BioShock, but we weren't doing a top 5 back then. So you need more franchises. Well, I need to know if those 2 changed as well.
Okay, so top 5. Let's see. All right. I know. Like 5th has got. It's like a tie between 2 different games. Franchise.
Let's go.
Minecraft and Darksiders.
Oh, Minecraft. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've as everyone on Multiverse can attain, I went hard on Minecraft.
That's actually one of the games that I first started playing with Anchorman was Minecraft.
That's what's up. Wow.
I could attain the amount of people that Anchorman convinced to buy an Xbox and then play Minecraft with us was an obscene number
We had
of
a
people.
world that was like massive that me and Anchorman and like 4 other people built. It was huge.
Dude, I was hosting game night on Tuesday and they were like, "Oh, I see you play Minecraft." I'm like,
shout out to Anchorman.
check that out.
Definitely, because I remember you helped me. That was that 1 month I went super hard for achievements. You was like, "Yo, get in this Minecraft right quick. I got you a couple." remember that month I was training to fight against Red and Undead. I was going up against you. Gave me the good list. I was like, "Yeah, baby, I'm in the gym. Let's get these achievements for free. Let's go."
No, what was it? We got you like 300-400 in like 30 minutes.
In like 30 minutes, I was like, "Whoa!" I had to keep the pressure on Undead, man. He was coming strong at the end.
Minecraft. Let's see, Minecraft and Darksiders kind of tied at 5th. I love Darksiders. That game, I don't know what it is. Any of the Darksiders games. Darksiders 3, I just beat that recently. I'm like, damn.
I still have that on my hard drive, and I've never even booted it up.
I want to get to that. I'm going to get to part 3.
Darksiders 3 is that great rebound
I
game.
guess we told you.
No, Darksiders 3 is that great rebound game. Like after you finish like a really long ass game, like you finish Witcher 3, you finish whatever game you've been playing hundreds of hours with, you just boot that up, chill. You can listen to the story if you want. You don't have to. It's just good gameplay all the way through.
No doubt.
Like it's real solid.
So Darksiders at it, Minecraft's been at it. We're still keeping Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, well, I got to keep Fallout New Vegas. Number 4, Assassin's Creed, the whole franchise.
Wow, really? That hardcore with
There's only been one bad Assassin's Creed. That's Unity.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do with Unity. That's the thing. I see what they were trying to do.
I don't think the
you really like buggy games, don't you, Anchor Man? Like I know that about you.
No. If you played Assassin's Creed Unity when that thing came out on the Xbox One, it was okay. It wasn't that buggy. The problem was when they started making patches to it. Because with the Xbox One, the original one has a better CPU than the PS4, and so it could process having more people on screen.
Yeah.
But ever since they started patching it, for whatever reason, it started running like shit. Like it was just bad.
Language. 3 strikes already.
We're breaking limits on something.
All right, 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like I play Spider-Man games all the time. Like I'm not even just talking about the PS4 one. I'm talking about all the Spider-Man games.
I'm talking about the PS4 one.
No, but actually,
Spider-Man 99. Yeah, when that came out on PlayStation 1,
right?
I played that like every Sunday. Every Sunday, play it all the way through to completion.
That's what's up.
Love that game.
That's what's up.
Spider-Man 2, that was dope. But yeah, then I got Fallout. That's gotta stay. Fallout New Vegas being the standout.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Addict fell out. He might have nuked the podcast.
Oh yeah, we gotta watch him. We gotta watch what a Fallout.
Yep. Yeah. Then my favorite's still BioShock.
So never mind. I got background noise, y'all. Y'all gotta excuse me. This is crazy. But anyway, we got that out the way as far as the top 5 revised. So Lord Sov, do you want to take care of some business, sir?
Yes, sir. Let's get into this Patreon stuff.
Ooh.
Take care of our Patreon subscribers that we appreciate. Help us out every single month.
2,000 subscriber, you will get nothing that's behind me.
Yeah, I think we've had some inquiries about adding some tiers that involve Lord King's collection.
They can throw that right in the bushes. They can jump right in there with that. If you want to add anything from Lord King's collection, I would steer you in the direction of sideshow.com or xm.com, or how about take yourself to ebay.com and find some statues. There it is.
You don't get nothing free from him.
What we got, man? Let's take care of business, man. Iron Bank time.
All right, let's go. So first off, Lord Javier Medina, thank you so much for your support, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Shout out to him.
Followed by Lord Corey Lydick, Lord Whiskey himself.
Lord Whiskey,
Lord of the 8 balls.
You better get yourself to E3. I need my chef.
Let's go. What else we got?
Followed by the PlayStation Bra.
Bra. That's what's up. What else
Thank
we got?
you, bra. Followed by Lord QX7 Masters, aka Kareem H, or reverse that, Kareem H, aka QX7 Masters.
That's what's up. Damn, Saul be putting people government out there. Salute to Saul.
Hey, it's in the Patreon listing.
Just leave their government out. Jesus. Salute to Jonathan
from
giving his address.
His monitor, please.
Next is his address.
Lord, yeah, that's the next thing coming. Lord Slow-Mo Backslap. Thank you, sir.
Saved you. Shout me out.
Lord Fastback 6768.
Thank you.
Now leave it at that. Thank you.
Salute.
Lord Stitch 6669.
Woo! Shout out to Stitch. That's what's up, man. Good support of the realm.
Lord John Love with the R&B name. I love that.
John Love, new album in stores. That's what's up.
Lord Sincere Quintana. Thank you for the support.
Belly. That's my thing. Continue.
And our brethren, Lord Gaming Forte.
Oh, shout out to Forte in the building. I see him.
In the building, always.
I see him.
And the Lord of Back Combatant X Cloud, Lord Bill Stillwell.
Great.
The Wall of Bill.
Respect Bill, boy.
Respect on that name right there.
Followed by Lord Twos.
Yes.
Boy, Lord
Bill, that's
Twos.
the homie. I like Twos. Twos is funny.
And of course, the original Patreon subscriber himself, Monkey Punch.
Punch in the building, always first in the chat. That's what's up.
First to shoot you in the head in PUBG.
For real.
First round, he's your teammate.
And followed by Lord Sammy Prescott.
What's up, Prescott? What's going on?
And of course, brethren, once again, Lord J. Fonz.
Oh, the phone. Bradley.
Really?
That's all.
How's that Captain Marvel fine?
Yeah, Fonz not about that.
Hey, can you guys hear me fine now?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I don't know why. What it does is it would read my webcam. It's like, no, you using that.
Yeah, that other mic was horrible.
That's what I noticed. Yeah, the mic was bad.
That was gotta go. Thank you. That's
Well, I don't know which one's playing until someone
Straight
points it out.
bushes.
Yeah, I did you.
Well, whatever this one is, this is the better one.
That's because it's the actual one that's designed to speak into.
Yeah,
We like
how
that.
your interrupts are crisp.
surprise.
Your buttons.
You got them crisp interrupts. Continue, so.
Oh, we have the king of the stream team, Lord Snaldo himself.
Bro.
Family
Yeah.
from the cradle to the grave. Lord Loaded Pixels.
Colbera, salute.
Colbera.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by, of course, Lord Cat Daddy Fat Snack.
When that dream going down, when that dream daddy, so we got to update the people on Attic. When's that going down?
Hold up. He sent me some dates that because I want to make sure that he's available for it.
Cancel the chat.
So
Right there.
it looks like. Give me about a couple of seconds. Yeah, he sent me. He said he will be free anytime next Tuesday or Friday.
All right, so we're gonna put it out there. Once you lock the date down, the Dream Daddy Challenge is up. Attic will be doing
It'll probably be Tuesday because I'm off Tuesday.
He tried to get me to be in the chat with him.
Yeah.
Come out with me, King.
Well, you can be in the chat, man. Tell me you could be in the chat. You don't have to play the game.
So this is PS4. The PS4 is up and running now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it on Steam.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's an elitist now. He has cops. All that stuff that y'all talking about, I've watched him convert. He just did it.
Yeah, I am playing the Division on PC. So
See, look at this. This is
I'm bougieing out too.
I'm putting both my feet on my screen. I'm the hell with this.
Not too good for the rest of us console plebs.
Yeah,
I don't even know what an Xbox looks like anymore. No, I'm joking. I still. It's like I was telling LordCognito that like I tried playing Devil May Cry. I had to literally put that on the big screen to play it. Like, when it comes to games like that, I think I'm going to stick with that.
I know what it is because you was playing on an inferior system. You didn't have that.
Oh my God.
I get it. So now that he got a PC that's equal to the X, so he out. Okay, all right. Because if you was playing on the X, you wouldn't be doing that.
Steinbeck, sir. Lord,
Attic.
For
Do I
real.
need to next move and tell him you kicked out the Xbox podcast?
And last but certainly not least, our brother from across the pond, Lord Death Singer.
Woo! Yeah.
oh, that's what's up, baby.
Thank you guys for your continued support. It is always much appreciated. So let's get into these giveaways. So let's start. Yeah, you know how that goes. If your payments did not come in, if your payments to me did not come in,
All forms the best this month.
you know you're out of the running. All right, so let's start with this $10 gift card giveaway. And the winner of the $10 gift card is
Cat Daddy Fat Stack.
We got who we got?
Lord J. Fontarelli.
Fontarelli in the building, baby.
Raking it in with us, dude.
Okay,
Raking it in.
And go rewatch Captain Marvel.
Got that $10 back, so you can stay there and watch the end credits.
There you go. He said we rigged already. The rigs are coming.
The rigs are coming in. Frauds. I know it's all coming in. I happen not to be looking at the screen right now, so you know I don't see all of this slander. Or libel should it be because it's in print. So the winner of our $20 gift card is
we got
Lord Chris Williams. I'm sorry.
Shout out Fastback. You won.
Shout out Fastback.
Shout out. Never mind.
You know what it was when I put it in the random name generator? I put the actual name. So yeah, my bad.
I just want people coming to your house. That's what that is.
So what? Chris is out here on Patreon.
Hold up.
So I think Sob's secretly been taken up by those Pinkertons there.
Right.
What else we got?
All right. And last but not least, the winner of our Teespring giveaway is who's gonna get the swag this month? Right. One of our Teespring giveaway is
Who's getting that Teespring?
Who get that Teespring?
Lord Bill Stillwell.
All of Bill will get that swag. You got to put that up, man.
I think he won last month too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's only won twice in the entire time that he's been, and then he's been with us from the jump.
Yeah, he normally don't win. That's crazy. That's what's up, man. So that's the T-shirt.
He deserves it too because that back and pat for last month was what's up.
So once again, thank you guys for the support on Patreon. It's greatly appreciated. I will hit you guys up in the DM to make sure you get your codes.
Shout out to Graphic. He just said it to me. I was gonna say Fastback said he said he was gonna say it was rigged, but until Fonz won, so it's all good.
It's like
grinding the chat.
But nobody hates on Fonz, and Fonz has won a lot.
Hold on, salute my brother Rise and Grind in the chat. I haven't seen that boy in a long time, man. That's what's up, man.
So my man fresh out.
Yeah, he fresh out.
You fresh out on these.
Fresh out, baby. Good to see you in the realm.
He just got through pulling a dime.
Fresh out, man. He fresh out. Hey, Jack Mac and watermelon, baby. Fresh out.
Yeah, man. So that we all good with the Iron Bank, sir?
That is good, sir.
All right, let's get on with it, man. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question with the rumors of a possible upcoming Borderlands 3 reveal by Gearbox. Which shooter do you think carries the mantle of the GOAT? The winner at 67% and
76.
And cruising to a victory at four-way poll is the Borderlands is the OG and paved the way group. Coming in at second place at 16% was Destiny. No one does loot and gunplay better group. At third place at 10% was Division, the gear set and loot mid-max king. And sadly, at only 7% was the I don't care. It's media bias if Anthem isn't crowned the GOAT group.
I feel like the only way to make that fair is you got to put Anthem with the Division.
Shout out to all the loads who participated in last week's poll. Lords of the Multiverse, what do you guys think about Borderlands being crowned the OG looter shooter?
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, people are wrong all the time. So
don't all step up at one time. Don't decide.
I'll speak up. I'll speak up.
Multiverse. Let people talk.
Let the multiverse talk.
Look, Borderlands is trash. Throw it in the bushes. Get rid of it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I was never really that big of a fan of Snorterlands myself. So.
Oh my
Borderlands.
Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Borderlands, but you guys want to calm down. Okay, it's not that bad. Anchorman over here playing Fallout 76, trying to sit there and come at Borderlands. Get out of here.
I'm gonna put it this way.
I'm gonna borrow
Borderlands run.
I'm gonna borrow a line from Nick here. So the only way I would be interested in a Borderlands 3 if there was some Magician DLC.
Wait, you are not a Borderlands guy at all? I'm curious.
I played Borderlands 2, thought it was okay. That's about it.
Yo, Dizzy going in. He said, cut their mics, throw them all off the panel. Oh, he's upset.
Dizzy loves Dark. I don't want to hear nothing from that man.
Yeah, he ain't
that
gonna live
was a
one
shot,
down.
Dizzy. That was a big
Yeah,
shot.
he's never gonna live that.
He
one
just
down.
sniped you with the longbow on Apex. That's what he just did.
So hold on. Mike P. the truth. No Borderlands love, bro? None?
You know, I played the original one when I got my PS3, but I just couldn't get into it. Nah, I couldn't.
I feel you.
I couldn't really get into it.
It's a tough crowd. It's a tough panel today. Thanks to all the lords who participated, man. We're going to get into that. We're going to have another ILP Twitter cooking up. So, actually, before we get into these topics, some breaking news. Raven was sent from the realm of Google. I got a chance to look at that first controller. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, man.
Mm-hmm.
A little mock-up going on. So I just want to bring this to the realm, man. What do we think about?
I want to screen share that trash.
Yeah, man. Because I was actually surprised, to be honest, that they were actually going to do this. Hold on, I'll give that to you right now. Give me a second. Let's share this, baby. All right. All right. So here's our bad boy right here. And yeah,
it looks like the DualShock 3 from the PS3 had a baby with the Ouya controller.
You know what that really does look like?
What it look like?
Fallout 76 players playing. That's what you guys playing that on, man. That's the only way it runs.
That is rude.
You play it with that controller, it's 60 frames, isn't it, Anchorman? Is that what you have?
It's not really ergonomic or whatever. Ergonomic. It doesn't look like it's like form fit into your hand, like it's forcing your hand to play.
It looks like the handles could be used as a blunt object to kill people.
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, the controller, they clearly didn't do focus groups with humans with human hands. I mean,
it is a friend.
With human hands.
It's an artist friend. So they've already confirmed that these proportions are off. So this is a mock-up.
Oh, okay. So
I was going to say, like, this particular thing looks like they said, what's the worst possible thing we could possibly take from every controller?
Right. This is like,
it's like we're gonna have tiny little sticks from the Switch. We're gonna put the sticks in the worst possible location from the DualShock.
And then if you look at it, go ahead.
It just looks like Sony and Microsoft got together and tried to slander them. That's exactly what it looks like. Like, let's start a fire before they get it started. You know, type of thing.
If you look at the actual diagram, though, what's interesting about it is the fact that it is a Sony form factor. And we talked about how, regardless of Google's reach, right, and they have a huge reach, that it might behoove them to get in bed with somebody in the gaming space to push whatever their cloud initiative was.
Right.
And for me, and I think a lot of people feel this way, I think the Xbox controller setup is objectively the better setup. So for them to specifically go with something that resembles a DualShock is interesting to me.
Okay.
The only thing about that, though, is they don't have the trackpad at all.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Salty. He said it looked like a controller from the dollar store. Damn. Salty.
Yeah, it does. It damn sure does. But if you're gonna copy anything, you copy the market leader. I don't care if anybody can sit there and say Xbox has the greatest controller in all the world. It doesn't sell 100 million, so obviously the controller ain't all that. So getting right back to that, the PlayStation is winning right now. So, of course, you're going to copy. If you're getting into a space, you're going to copy who's the best. You're going to look at the systems. I'm pretty sure that the system might look like a PlayStation 4 when it comes out, probably. Like a little tiny PlayStation 4.
Let's get some context. So pretty much this is the patent that was filed, that initial mock-up. And these obviously is leaked before GDC, where it looks like they intended to show this thing. So, as we saw, it looked like it had like the Google, speech thing solved, where they click the button or whatever.
Right.
But so what do we feel about just from a hardware standpoint, that they're looking to be serious to have hardware for Project Stream?
Well, the thing about it is they kind of have no choice now, right? Because they're getting into a space that like a lot of people are getting into right now. Verizon, obviously Microsoft. So again, they could only pair up with somebody who's already not announced anything specific in that space, or just do their own thing. Like right now, obviously, an Xbox controller is going to work with Project Stream just fine, but they have to give some branding to their product, or else you risk it getting sort of lost in the shuffle.
Right.
So, because beyond the controller, I don't think they've said anything about a specific box for them besides it's just a streaming service you can access anywhere.
Right.
It wouldn't matter. The box wouldn't matter.
Right.
Technically correct. Yeah.
So yeah, you have to find something to brand, Project Stream with. So a controller.
Yeah. So Anchor, like, what do you think though? Like, in general, do you think they're taking it really serious now? Like, where's your whole thought process with them trying to enter the game, the console game?
Again, it really depends on how they're going to go about doing this. Like, we've already mentioned here so far is that if they were trying to jump on somebody else, like jump on the Switch and be their streaming platform or whatever, like that would make sense. But they're going with its own entirely separate route, which lately Google jumping into something entirely alone has not been great. Like what was it when they were trying to become an ISP?
Right.
When they were trying to go down that route, it's not been going too hot for them right now.
Gotcha.
Because
So
infrastructure problem.
with the cloud backing, just their big presence, you're not taking them serious as a threat, or like just in general, you're just like wait and see. What's your overall feeling in these early stages of you hearing them trying to get their foot in the game?
Right now, until I start seeing some actual games they're going to start pushing and they're going to start developing, I think they're just going to use this more as like a mobile gaming platform. Okay, here's some easy games where it doesn't require vast amounts of skill or huge graphical output.
I think the biggest thing that factors into Google coming in is the controller and what the games are. I don't think the games are going to be an issue because at the end of the day, Google, when they go into a field, they just don't go and, fill it out. They go and be like, okay, here's $1 million. Here's $1 million. Okay, you need 20. Here's 20. Like they don't have a problem going in, opening like a blank check.
Right.
The thing is like, I think the controller might be a drop though, because as you can already see, like when it comes to controllers, people are really particular over that. Like that's one of the reasons I won't play on PlayStation full time.
Up and it's confirmed that it's not proportionate. Like, so we can't hold that one, but we just show it to the letter of the law.
It already looks like a PlayStation controller though, so I'm not down. Like,
so you already did because of the analog PlayStation.
I don't like the analogs like that. I just don't.
Watch it be. There's actual multiple controller styles.
See, I would be okay with that. But at the end of the day, like people sit here acting like Google can't compete with games. They're delusional. Google has no problem going to a big publisher and just buying the whole publisher. Like that's the kind of money Google does. Every time they do that, they don't do it half. They go in their full force and buy whatever they can. They kick doors open with money. They don't care.
What do you think? Good.
I think that's one of the reasons Microsoft's buying so many, mid-tier studios is because they know Google is about to come in, and they're like, if we don't buy it now, Google is going to buy it.
What do you think on that, man? What you seeing this stuff, and just how serious are you taking Google right now?
Well, the thing is with Google is, as Alex says, 100% correct. They kick in the door. Look at how they picked up YouTube. They just went, here's like billions of dollars. We're going to buy this site right up. Thing is that after Google buys something, they run it right into the ground every damn time. Look at
he does have a point. You can't even get hold of customer service for YouTube.
Look, you look at YouTube. Look at a perfect example. Everything going on. They can't control the content that's on kids' YouTube. You've got like horror things going on with kids' YouTube. You got them demonetizing content creators because of their comments section. It's just unreal at how mishandled YouTube is. And that's only one thing. Look at all the stuff Google closes down. They'll buy something, get into it, and then a year later go, nah.
Google
like,
Plus.
Look, Google Hangouts, Google Plus, Google, anything they put their name to, if it doesn't make them all their money back they invested in a year, they dump it.
Now, let me ask you this. I just want to cut you for 1 second on that. In this sense, shout out to Brap in the chat. He actually made a point. What about them bringing in Phil Harrison? Was it the former Sony / former Xbox exec into their gaming division? Does that even give you any cause for seriousness?
You mean the lesser Phil.
Wow.
Phil
Minimus.
Phil Minimus. Oh my God. He's not even Phil Dominus. He's Phil
out there. Whoa, there's only one Phil Dominus.
Look, there's two things that are there's two things that are going to kill this console. A, that controller, because you know what? If it's anything, I always tell people I don't like PlayStation controllers. They're too small. They're like, oh, well, the DualShock 4 is perfect size. Look at this thing in my hand. This is made for a child. I play with the Duke controller because that feels like a normal controller in my hands.
You are
preach, man.
R67, sir.
Like if they bring out something that's the size of DualShock 3, and anyone that played on PS3 that's real with themselves will admit that the PS3 controller felt like flimsy, tiny garbage.
Wow.
DualShock 4 is exponentially better than the DualShock.
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say this right in defense of Sony's controller. When we was playing on those stupid little Nintendo square boxes and Sony came out with their controller, everybody stood up and shook their hands and was like, hell yeah. Then when they came out with the dual analogs, everybody was championing Sony. Oh my God. Then when Microsoft came out with their controller and they switched up the analogs and they said, okay, it made sense. And now we got to a point where it made sense, but don't front like them Sony controllers wasn't that thing from all those weak controllers.
Oh, no. The original DualShock and the DualShock 2, which came with the PS2, those were great controllers. There was something very cheap feeling about the DualShock 3. It just wasn't.
There was nothing in it.
Yeah, there was nothing in it. Remember, they had that 6-axis thing.
Yeah,
that was inside the controller before when you was able to tilt control and but let's not front like Sony didn't have really good controllers. The controllers are really decent.
The DualShock 3 was only my ever complaint. The big thing with Google is a lot of people are hesitant about Google entering the market. Where are they going to bring everything else? They could come in, buy a bunch of studios, but who wants to go out? Say Google offers a $500 home console, so you buy a $500 Google home console.
They're going to do that.
They're not doing any of that. It's just streaming. You guys are. I don't know if you guys are under the impression that you're getting a console as well. This is just Project Stream, and I think that's all they're doing.
Yeah, this is like $100 piece of hardware. Just slap it under there.
Yeah, like the Amazon.
Not even that.
We're gonna buy a $100 piece of hardware that Google's gonna support for 4 quarters until financial drop.
I think this is really just an app. It really is just accessing their servers, and that's it.
Y'all guys don't act like Google isn't every damn where. Like anytime I'm lost, I'm gonna pick up my phone. And I'm like Google this and Google that. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all think it's a joke. Amazon and Google are the ones to be afraid of. These guys are going to move into the space and they're going to spread like a virus. If you haven't played Assassin's Creed
on Google Stream,
I'm telling you, the leader of streaming that I thought was NVIDIA, okay? Because I was playing it in NVIDIA Shields, all the iterations. We talked about that last night. And I thought they had an infrastructure that was so dominant that I thought the Nintendo was going to take over that space and utilize what they had with them. I was sad that they didn't do that. But to see Google in this short period of time cover so much ground in just a browser, that is scary. And I know Microsoft saw it, and Microsoft started pushing this initiative to get these studios to start pushing out this content, to push this cloud forward, because if they get into this space, it's going to be everywhere and it's going to be effortless.
I think the difference between that, though, is Amazon is the one to fear more than Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because again, the internet infrastructure at this point in time is still not beneficial enough where Google could really make a splash immediately.
Right.
But Amazon, they can go both routes, streaming and physical in the short term.
That's what I was going to
ask. Just imagine for a moment, if Amazon gets into the thing and they actually do have physical, get this for whatever reason, free delivery for your game, get it the day before comes out. They can ensure that. They can ensure that because they be the publisher. It's not like they have like a limitation where it's like, okay, we'll put the game out. It's going to come out March 20th, but if you get it you get a day beforehand because of early shipping or whatever. But they can actually ensure that you get it early because they be controlling the launch date.
Let me ask you guys this, and you actually alluded to what I wanted to say, Anchor, was in sense of, do you think that it's a mistake if Project Stream with Google doesn't have the option to download these games to like a hard drive or console? If it's streaming exclusive. Like, Mike, where do you feel? First of all, Mike, where are you at with this whole Google thing, man?
Yeah, all I gotta say is that if I see anybody standing for a Google console, I don't care if it's $100 box, $500 box, you're getting exposed. Because all I heard in 2013 when the Xbox One came out was, "Oh, Kinect, they're watching you, they're listening for you all the time." So you're gonna have a problem with that, right? But you're not gonna have a problem with Google tracking what you're playing, when you're playing it, how long you're playing it for, and then using that information to send targeted ads for you. You're getting exposed.
What's going to happen with Mike is like you're going to be playing Resident Evil, and it's going to be like, oh, you were interested in blue and green herbs? Here's a marijuana.
That product placement.
Exactly.
So Mike, you're not taking them serious. You don't wear. You're just like, are you not feeling it? Like where?
I mean, I have to see more as far as like what games they're coming out with, what publishers they're bringing on board. You know, I think every time a company as big as Google launches a new endeavor, you have to take them seriously. But to see them going up against, you know, Sony, which, you know, they're rolling out remote play to phones and stuff. We'll see where that goes from there. Microsoft with their xCloud. I mean, the competition's stiff. And those companies have really diverse portfolios in gaming, and Google's still got to build that up a little bit. So it remains to be seen type of thing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we should transition right there. Mike set it up with real good in reference to, you know, obviously Sony and stuff. I mean, I agree with all you guys on the panel as far as Google. I'm more on the wait and see, you know, with this whole project stream. We've Sav has actually tested it, and Sav, you actually felt really good about what you played from a streaming, right?
Yeah, I felt super good. I said the conditions had to be ideal, right? But I had ideal conditions for PS Now. I had ideal conditions for, you know, online back in the day, and that didn't even come close to what I played with AC Odyssey on Project Stream. So I'm really excited what they can do. Another thing we haven't talked about is what their plans are in 5G, because for sure their plans include 5G. It's not just hardwired connections. So that's another thing that needs to be considered with these guys. Like, I don't really think, I know you mentioned specifically about, you know, is it a mistake not to have downloads available? Right. That could definitely be an option for them, but I think they're going full tilt into the streaming thing. And I think they're leaning into like super high-end, high-speed connected networks in addition to, you know, whatever 5G brings to the table. So I think they're trying to get into this with as little overhead as possible. I think the controller is honestly the extent of the hardware that you see.
Okay. King, you want to?
That's the only problem with Google is I don't see purely just streaming as a true alternative, because what we're forgetting is a lot of middle America has data caps.
Right.
Like they hit data caps and they can't do anything for the rest of the month.
If there's anyone that can work around it, it's going to be Google.
Question for you guys, because you guys are in the States versus why I am up here. Does Google not have its own ISP stateside, or did they abandon?
But Google Fiber, it's not everywhere.
Yeah.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier. When Google wanted to get into the ISP game with Google Fiber, they had a lot of momentum at first, but what they realized is that a lot of the infrastructure for making fiber optic cables and stuff was dominated in certain areas by the local ISPs.
Yep.
And so they can't do anything. Like, they won't let them have access to any of the utility frameworks.
If you was looking at any of the super PACs that was being pushed through the political stuff, I don't do political stuff too much, but if you was looking at any of the super PACs that was being pushed through, Verizon and the other larger networks was actually stopping their growth. So anytime they try to get into another sector, if that bill wasn't passed under the table, it didn't get through. So it was very limited in where you got Google Fiber at. So and that was because they were playing hardball with the big guys. All right. So when you try to get into territories that are dominated by the mainstream, you're not going to infiltrate unless you're greasing palms. And I guess they didn't grease the right palms.
Well, it's not even really about greasing palms. When you try to go into local,
that's what I wanted to have talk about this.
When you go into, you know, localizing any kind of, they have a lot more relationships. You know, Verizon deals with people in this area a lot more. A lot of these politicians and stuff, they're going to go with them over Google that doesn't even have a groundwork in this area at all. And they're trying to get in it, but they're like, you know, Verizon over here has been helping me get elected every year for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I want to bring up a good point. Shout out to Stinger in the chat, man. He's concerned about cell phone providers. He thinks that they will drop unlimited data in a heartbeat over this.
I don't think they can right
Wait,
now.
hold up. You guys get unlimited cell phone data?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, like for me, like my cell phone bill is $130 for
Canadian
5 gigs.
Now, how it works though, Nick, is that it's unlimited, but it's like they'll give you a certain amount of data at
Before
4G,
they start throttling you.
but once you cross a certain threshold, they'll throttle you down to like
Oh, so they throttle your speed.
3G. They'll throttle.
Throttle the hell out of your ass.
See, I feel all right with that because like I got Bell 5, which is 1 gigabyte down, like 700 up, but I only pay $53 for that joint. So
I mean, what the problem is a long time ago, a bunch of people got into a room and agreed who gets what district, and for the past 20 years, that's what we've been going by.
Yeah, man. This is interesting, man. I'm glad. I know this is breaking news. Kind of had to talk about it.
Yeah.
News in the game, but we got some Sony news to get into. Let's go. So, yeah, man, the news came out, man. PlayStation firmware 6.50 was released, and it makes Sony a remote play service to be available on iOS devices. So your phone, your tablet. Now, formerly, this was on the Vita when it existed. So shout out to the Vita owners. Shout out Undead. You know what I'm saying? It was relevant, and it was out there, and it looks like it's dead. So this has been causing some gamers to, have some discussions amongst themselves, and a lot of cloud talk and PS Now talk and remote play talk. So I want to bring this to the round table. Let's start with Anchorman. With this coming to PS4 on iOS devices, what do you think about it?
I think some people are blowing it way out of proportion. It's not even remotely close to the whole Game Pass discussion we've been having.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing, but I mean, it is. Like right now, it's not on the same level, but come on, guys, you know what's going to happen.
It's
only a matter of time.
So my question to you is, all right, we do agree, Anchorman, right, from a standpoint that this is nothing new. They've had remote play before, but the issue is the fact that now it's going to iOS devices. Your feeling is that this is kind of like the precursory step to possibly setting up something in the future with them expanding.
Guys, there was an interview with Yoshida back in 2013. I remember reading it. I remember walking back from class. I remember exactly where I was when I read it. Yoshida was talking about how the next PlayStation, there may be a box, but the future is streaming. And every single action they have taken this entire generation has been setting up streaming for the future.
You said Sony?
And what's funny, yeah, Sony did
2013.
And what's funny,
you said Sony, every action has been setting up streaming.
Every action they have taken this generation has been building towards streaming.
See, what it is they low-key like put their foot in the water. They're like, let's see, like Microsoft tried to jump in and they just put their foot in the water and okay, let's do this PlayStation Now thing. And then when Microsoft's after Microsoft finally got out of that river after almost drowning to death, they're like, all right, now let's try Game Pass. This seems like a safe bet. Let's let them download their games. And then, after a positive reception with that, Sony's like, oh, they got something. Okay, can we make the PS4 games downloadable? Oh, we can go do that.
No doubt. Let's get everybody else in here. Lord Mike P. the Truth. What do you think about PS4 remote play on iOS devices? Is this setting something else up?
So, I mean, I think PS Now on mobile devices is inevitable, right? Because they've already had remote play going. You guys have already said that, but you have to look at it from Sony's perspective. They're testing it on other devices that are non-Sony devices now, right? So with remote play, they're trying to work out, okay, what's the streaming quality going to look like on different screen sizes? And, if somebody's playing on an iPhone or if it's an iPad, you can't guarantee that they're going to have a DualShock 4. So this is a good time for them to kind of work out what that interface is going to look like as far as all the buttons on the screen. How do we lay them out? If the button layout doesn't work, can we maybe do some type of gesture controls for certain actions? So this is going to be kind of like the ground where they test all that stuff out on other devices. And then eventually I think it's inevitable, they are going to roll out PS Now on multiple devices.
Well, I see a lot of people on Twitter bringing up the fact that they don't like that there's not a physical controller. Like, this isn't made for us. This isn't made for the people born in our time frames. This isn't made for me, Anchorman, or you guys. This is made for those 12, 13-year-olds that's about to grow up in about 5-6 years that's been playing Fortnite on their phones. Like,
okay. No, I feel. Let's get Undead and Sovereign in here, man. Undead, what do you think, man, as far as this whole, PS4 remote play, iOS devices, PS Now? Where's your whole headspace on
Look, they sure rolled this out when they had the Vita. Like, this was this was stuff that would have been great for the Vita. If you had rolled PS Now out onto Vita properly.
That's a good point.
And like remote play on the Vita is seamless. Okay, like that is smooth. It is great. It works well. Them rolling it out to mobile devices. Well, they killed the Vita, and then the same week they had remote play to iOS devices. It makes a lot of sense. They killed one thing that they did really well, and now they're just moving on to something else. And being able to play your games everywhere, let's face it, the Switch is doing it. Xbox is going to be doing it with xCloud. It's the wave. The mobile devices are a huge market. Everyone forgets this. I said this on my show last night. People forget that the mobile market in Asia is absolutely astronomical. The reason why Tencent wants to come to the West and buy up so many studios is because they want to make mobile versions of all the big IPs so they can sell them in Asia. Because Asia, I think on the mobile market, it's something like 10-1. It's massive.
Sony, people that... Oh, I'm sorry.
The chat is with you, Attic, on the mobile generation completely.
People don't realize that when it comes to, they like this console war stuff getting in the way. Like Sony is a very smart company, especially this generation. They know where they know eventually, it's all when it comes to innovating stuff, it's about timing. You don't want to do it too soon. You want to do it too late. You don't want to do it too soon because the consumer base might revolt against you, and you want to do it too late because then you've already missed the wave.
That's why they're a copycat ninja.
I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes it's better to copy better than to innovate something first.
It's nice that they're doing what they're doing. We get this on the death nail of the Vita. All right. The fact that the Vita is dead in the water, because remember they were trying to package their PlayStation 4 with the Vita type of thing. They was trying to get you to purchase it, and we talked about this on Dale's show. I had the 3G version. Was it a 3G version or 2G version, something like that, of the Vitas, and I found it to be super seamless. Like with my system being on at home, I was able to play my games out in the street, and I thought that was ingenious. But the fact that the Vita died, they still had this infrastructure set up. They still had these thoughts because they have think tanks and they have research and development, and they pour all this money into this stuff and they map this stuff out. Now they told the guy, like, okay, this died. How can we get this into everybody's hands? And they figured it out software-wise to get it through iOS. Now I know Android will probably be next after this is conquered. This area is conquered first, right? So you go through this way and you make sure that you get those games onto these iOS devices. Now, as far as Attic was saying, my son doesn't care for a controller. He sits down, he plays his Kindle all day long. So he plays, if he can play Spider-Man with touch controls on his Kindle or on his iOS, he doesn't have that. But if it's on his Kindle, he doesn't care. And it works for him.
And that's the demographic they're targeting.
Shout out to Chief Tommy with the $5 super chat. Where's that rain away app topic? Am I the only one that wants PC games on console? ETA late May.
I mean, we are seeing, PC games go to one thing that I really looking forward to. I might pick it up on PC before it comes to Xbox because it's taking too long. Is that Hunt Shadow game that it still ain't on? Is it on Xbox preview yet?
No, they don't have a date for it yet.
Shout out to Pan. I believe she has a preview of it on Lognet.
I might reach out to the appropriate people and get my hands on that because it gives me an Evolve feeling, but actually done right. And you actually see a lot of these games go over to console, especially Xbox because of their preview program. Arc went on there first because of that. What other big games this went on preview? PUBG was in preview for like a year. It felt like
it was about a year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Hunt Showdown. That's what it's called. You do see PC games go to console.
Yeah.
It's just certain PC games physically can't be on console because of a controller restriction.
No doubt. Let's get Lord Sov in here, man. What do you feel about all this news? PlayStation 4, Remote Play, PS Now, with the latest with the iOS devices.
I mean, I think everybody's sort of hit it right on the head. I think the fact that the Vita was specifically killed this week, and then this coming out hand in hand. I mean, again,
it was murdered.
Yeah, it was assassinated. The Vita Island was blown up, but I think
coming from Disney's favorite YouTuber.
But I just think the fact that it's coming to iOS now, and it's taken forever, apparently for no reason. But if you look at how expanded it sort of is on iOS compared to even Windows and Mac, and compared to what you have on Android, which is still sort of, it still hasn't been expanded very much on Android. Isn't it just like does it only work for like Xperia phones or something like that? Like some craziness like that. I don't think it works on every Android phone.
I believe you mean inferior phones.
Something like that. Yeah,
you know, Android.
It rhymes, so it works.
That's new right now. There's not going to be any Android slander here.
Come on, he's still talking about the weekend.
It only works on inferior phones.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Yeah, not like 10 as the market leaders. Not no.
So I think it's really huge that they're working on this now. Like Mike P said, I think it just means that laying the groundwork for being able to expand on this in a really, really big way. And anybody who thought they weren't going this route, sorry, because it's coming, and the tea leaves have been there, and you haven't really been wanting to pay attention, but it's coming, and they're doing it in a way that suits them. Because again, I don't think they themselves have the proper infrastructure to go full tilt on it themselves. They need partners in this. And I think you're going to see more of this stuff with them sort of, coming out on iOS, expanding what they have on Android. I think this is the way to do it. But
Sovereign, what do you say to the PlayStation person who is nervous and who's afraid that they're moving away from console like Microsoft?
It's a choice. You're going to get your box and you're going to get your single player experiences. You're still going to get those.
But the exclusives, they're going to be all on PC and tablets. They're gonna be everywhere, and I want my PlayStation controller.
We're gonna have to have a convo about that one, because that's not going down. Because I will be playing. If I can do it, I'll be playing my PlayStation games on a PC.
That's hard. I'm directly going at you.
I do have a question real quick. How would you guys feel if they made like PlayStation Now? Like, you can't naturally buy these games off of the other platforms. You can only get them if you subscribe to their perspectives, like Game Pass, and like you can't buy Halo Infinite on a certain platform, but you can subscribe to Game Pass and get it from that app only.
that would have to be the way that it works, again, unless these guys specifically work out deals for titles where they're sharing revenue. Like that's the only way that can work, where it would be. You can even think about, an executive on the other end being okay with you playing that game on their.
Imagine you selling Halo Infinite on like Nintendo, and Nintendo gets a cut from that.
Addict. Sony's Ultimate Jitsu is going to be first party games in PlayStation Now.
It's funny you mentioned that, Addict. And it's funny you mentioned that, Addict, because last night we had a little bit of conversation about people's the assumptions people are making about all this Nintendo Switch and Game Pass stuff, and people are like, let's look at this stuff logically, right? Let's look at it logically. Can this stuff just really live on there the way it is now? Like, that would not make sense to any executive looking at that. Like, no, hell no. So I don't think it's quite the way that we expect it to be, or the way we've been talking about that it can be.
Let me jump in, man. This is interesting, y'all. Listen, heard this. It is nothing new to me. I mean, like Undead said, they had the remote play feature for Vita for the longest. I was a big proponent, used it all the time. The only thing is, it wasn't obviously like pure streaming because basically it turned your PS4 on remotely and then it allowed you to mirror the inputs from my Vita and and then play. It was super solid. I did like it. Now, unlike Undead, also though, I had some issues though. It wasn't like there was some lag, especially if I try to play like Killzone or something like. Yeah, man. Like any type of fast twitch. So
it was strictly made for a single player experience, just like all their games.
Oh my god.
Last of Us.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to play like a standard, single player game, stuff like that, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? iOS devices on it. This is just an extension of it to me. And to me, it just shows that both Sony and Microsoft want to get that service and their services and their cloud services on multiple devices. And I think that's going to be the same thing with PS Now. I think that is literally coming. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, so if they actually had Sony had that cloud engineering team job listing for the streaming service, and it literally states to any device. So those who are being resistant of this change, this is where these companies are going. You know what I'm saying?
God. Yeah, one is being open and honest, and the other one is one is like, you'll be able to play Microsoft stuff everywhere.
So are you saying Microsoft's like walking openly in the field and Sony's in the Metal Gear Solid box?
Y'all slandering. Listen, in defense, Sony was doing it first with remote play. Come on, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you this, right, Mike? If there were in the library, Microsoft will be an open book.
And Sony's that dude behind him cheating on the chest.
The thing about Sony is that Sony tried to give you the impression, and maybe this was how it was in the beginning, that the remote play would still be isolated to their walled garden, right? And then as things have changed, you realize that that's an archaic way to think. You can't do that. You just
no, it's not archaic. It's not archaic, Sav. Our man Jim Ryan's now in charge.
I think Jim Ryan has been taken into a back room and explained what he has to do. He's been Borged.
You just got to look at it from a standpoint of Sony's putting themselves in the situation to where they won't be last in the market. They won't be first by any means. But they won't be last because
they were first on this and that. We got to be clear now. Like Sony was first, and shout out to Sting in the chat as far as them streaming the PC as well. They were technically first. Now Microsoft may have the better infrastructure in Azure.
They
doing it first.
I guess it went to that standpoint where they were going 90 and the 50 at first, and they're like, "Oh, I'm about to get pulled over." So they slowed down, and now they're going 40 and the 50. And when they see that that second place about to pass them, they're like, "Okay, now we're going to speed back up."
Look, the way what's going to happen is all these games, we're going to be able to play all these games wherever you want, whenever you want, everything else, and all these console warriors that are on Twitter right now are going to need they're going to have AA meetings for console warriors. They're going to be like, "Hi, my name is so and so." Followers on
my name is Dayton.
Hi, my name's Lord King David.
No, you ain't gonna have me with that problem. Listen, I'm a Toys R Us kid, so my soul is young. These dudes are actually like, I'm not going over there.
Lord King David.
Everything in my one box.
The best argument I saw against this is that someone retweeted something in my feed, and someone was like, if Sega was still in the console market, none of this would ever have happened. I'm like,
oh God, they would have like 5 different versions of the same thing, each more inferior to the next.
Right, let me bring this last question to you before we move on, because I'm seeing this a lot, and I've seen it in chat. We're all in agreement on the panel that this is the direction both Microsoft and Sony is going. So my question then is, I'm starting to see, oh, well, this means consoles are going away. What do we feel about that quickly?
I think there'll always be a console. I think that sooner or later you're going to get to a point where internet is where it needs to be. You'll have the main platforms like Microsoft, Sony, and then you'll have third-party streaming platforms that stream from all of them. It's like kind of like a Roku thing. I think 10 years down the road, you're going to see, apps and, third-party apps that will let you stream from all the services.
All right. So, and you still think consoles always going to be here? Anchorman, what about your consoles here? Yes or no? Where you at?
The consoles will become like arcade boxes.
Yep.
Oh, so you think they're out of here?
Like I think they're gone. I'm sure there's going to be some person out there who's going to go spend $1,000 to go get whatever David is. Like, oh yeah, I gotta have my N64 experience, but the market's just going to move away from consoles.
What about the people like you said with the data caps and the what about the people? We have to admit that streaming will have some limitations. It
eventually will get to that point.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking the next 10 years or so.
What it's going to come down to is, no one's really pushing against the machine right now. No one besides, certain people. But when Sony, Microsoft, Google, they need those restrictions pushed. When you still have multiple billion-dollar corporations pushing against the machine, something's going to break.
Absolutely. Lord King, consoles going away, yes or no?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They did. You're going to probably see this is going to be Microsoft's last big system. The PlayStation
just came out with a statement. Shout out to the Xbox too. They just made a statement that they're definitely making more systems after.
Yeah, they definitely making more systems. They're gonna be called Surface Pros, and if you want to get your Game Pass bundled into that Surface Pro X, and iOS, get your new phones with the Game Pass on it. I'm telling you, right, that's hardware, right? Okay, guys, remember what I told you. They're building these servers out here for a reason. They're not building it for show.
Now, wait, hold on. Okay, I got to correct you. In those servers are Xbox hardware.
Right. This is what I'm saying. That's where your hardware going to lie. Your hardware is not going to be in your living room. That stuff is going to... You want hardware? Isn't your controller hardware?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have your controller, and your controller is going to Bluetooth to your television, and you're going to play that way.
Okay. Mike, be the truth. Consoles going away, yes or no, sir?
I don't think they're going away within like the next 5, 10, maybe even 15 years or anything like that. Because right now, you're still not going to be able to replicate the fidelity and the responsiveness of gaming on an actual box. Not right now, but I do think eventually, as broadband infrastructure improves, once they really start rolling 5G out, eventually we are going to reach a point where I think it's not going to be as much of a difference, where the difference is going to be so small that you're not going to be able to notice it. And I think maybe within, I would say the next 2-3 generations, consoles will probably be gone by then. Honestly.
Mike, question.
Yeah.
Question. All right. You said 5 years, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're saying the next console is going to launch in 2020, right?
Right.
All right. So that's when that generation starts. So you're going to say 2025, right?
Right.
All right. So 2025, you don't think that consoles is going to be in the bushes?
I don't. I think eventually, I don't think it's going to be that quick.
Too close.
I think
it's too short. I don't think it's going to be that fast.
We're going to have to get to a point where your phone can you just giving a hotspot can give the same kind of internet that a fiber internet would give you.
Right. Like 5G.
Yeah, that 5G. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Comes down to soft. Man.
I mean, yeah, I think in the long term, like there's always going to be a superior way to play your game locally.
Right.
I don't know that it's a box anymore, and I don't know, but I agree with Mike. I think it's 15 to 20 years down the line. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think eventually that happens. But you'll always have a superior local way to play the game. But I just think, and this will always just be a choice. It'll always just be an option. I don't know that it ever completely takes over for that specific reason. I think local fidelity is always.
When I'll say 100% that we're going to get there quick is when physical media dies completely.
Interesting.
Because when people are doing nothing but digital, I feel like that's when everyone's going to be pushing for it.
Let me get Undead, man. He's chomping at the bit, man. He's ready to jump in. Undead, what's up, baby? Where you at?
Look,
are they dead?
Look, we said by everyone, all those influencers, everything else back in 2012 said console market's dead. It's going to be gone by 2018, they said, and look where we are now. We got 100 million PS4s, 4 million Xbox One, and we've got the Switch, who's absolutely going against every grain of reality that we know to sell a console. Consoles aren't going to go away. I agree with Mike. You were looking at like a 15 to 20 year timeline. However, the day that I can play PlayStation games, Xbox games, and I'm holding out for Nintendo games, the day I can natively download those onto my PC, my consoles are going out the window. I'm buying a $2,000 PC.
I honestly and truly believe that Nintendo's never leaving that market. They're always going to have some kind of portable infrastructure.
Nintendo's going to be the Gollum from Lord of the Rings. They're going to be sitting in the corner like, no, you can't take it from us. We need
You know how I know?
Precious.
Yeah, they're going to be doing that, but that's fine. But like I've said this before, I love the flexibility of PC gaming. But the thing is, all my friends play on Xbox or PlayStation, so those are the consoles I play. And when the market starts to change, my friends will follow where the market goes, and that's where I'll eventually go. I don't have a loyalty to any of the box. I don't think any of the boxes are going anywhere anytime soon. Like I said, like it's been mentioned before, internet quality and everything else isn't the same everywhere. Like if anyone's ever been to Europe, their internet quality is like you ask people in Britain what their internet quality is like, and they're like, "Hey, I like my 2 megabytes per second."
Listen, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. Finish up. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. Things are going to change, and it's the same thing as I remember when I was a kid. People were like, oh man, I don't understand this disc stuff. Like, why would you ever go away from a cartridge? It makes no sense. It can get scratched so easy. A cartridge, you can throw it at your mom's head and it'll still be okay. Like that was the great thing about cartridges. But we all shifted to discs. Sony's pushed that innovation through. Xbox followed suit, and now we're on discs, and Nintendo is still on cartridges.
Yeah.
You know how I know? You know how I know that King and I are right? Because Addict's against us. Anytime Addict makes a bet, it's over.
So he loses his knees into the wall. Please, sir. Could you please give me back my knees, sir?
I'm not gonna even talk about that. I lost one bet, and you guys be acting like I've lost every bet ever made.
Yeah, like give Addict a break. He ain't at Kid Smooth levels.
Why can't we ever bring up when Lord King David lost the list bet? No one wants to talk about that.
No. I stood there, sir. I did say you won. I said it on camera, sir.
But you don't see me bringing this stuff up every week.
I still have your knees, sir. Your knees is in the bushes back this way.
So you're saying there's bushes in your house?
Yes, sir.
Going on here? You might need to get that taken care of. You got to get some gardening or something in there, man.
It's just for your knees, sir.
Anyway, look, I give it up, Mike and Dad. I mean, at some point, we probably will get there. I just don't think it's anytime soon until the infrastructure is in place. And obviously, if you want the highest fidelity, you want the best place to play, it's going to be on a dedicated platform. It's always, in my opinion, going to be an option. So people want to get their premium experience. But once infrastructures rise, once 5G is in place, and again, on a global scale, I don't know if everyone can be accommodated, but I still think the option is going to be there. So we shall see. A lot of tech and stuff to talk about it. Lord Addict, what is going on with EA?
Yeah.
All right, so hold up. Let me turn on my camera for this.
Yes. Here we go.
We're gonna get Neben live.
I'll give you a Neben live when you publicly say Fallout 76 came out buggy as hell.
All right.
Fallout 76 came out buggy as hell. Let's do it.
You thirsty right now, man. You need some water, man. You need some water.
You were too easy on him with that one.
You need some water. But okay, anyway. So right now, a couple months ago, I don't even know how long ago it was, but Sony actually announced that they weren't going to be E3. People claimed, I was actually one of them saying, this isn't a huge, the thing is people want to say E3 was dead. I didn't necessarily think it was dead. I just thought, it's not as impactful as it used to be. Just because, Sony's not going to be there doesn't mean the whole platform's dead. But now it's looking like EA isn't going to be there too. And I don't think EA already kind of left it a little bit with the EA Play. Are they even going to do an EA Play?
They are doing an EA Play. It is confirmed. And what we've heard right now is they are doing, it's a little different in the sense of they're not going to do a press conference, but they're going to be doing some live multi-streams while they're there. So they're going to have some presence.
So what I want to bring to the round table is, first off, I want to ask two questions. One, do you think E3 is dead? Do you think that next year, Microsoft might pull up? Because I feel like the reason Microsoft didn't even consider it is because they saw that as an opportunity. Do you think with Inside Xbox, as it starts to grow and it starts to grow as a platform, do you think they might pull away announcements from E3 to spread on all of the Inside Xbox, go more towards an a direct focus like what Nintendo does? And my second question is, do you think EA true intentions on not being there is they didn't have nothing to show because they've canceled a lot of their projects besides they could go on there, I guess, and theoretically they can just show you a bunch of sports, but they've done that a lot. They got clowned on for their last years. Do you think that? But another thing is, Titanfall 3, that's not there, so it's kind of weird that they didn't have an E3. Do you think that EA just doesn't have nothing to show? What do you think is the reason that they're not going to do that?
Gotta pay the bill. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to Lord Vogel's Creed. He said, I got the Razer Phone 2 on sale for $500. Saved $300. And I'm ready for this cloud streaming. Can't wait to play my Xbox games through xCloud. I just need the Razer brand new mobile controller. Salute the Vogel's Creed, getting ready.
I just have a question.
That is one hell of a phone.
Really?
That phone
I don't even know what the Razer Phone 2 is.
Yo, listen to me. That is one hell of a phone. That's a hell of a phone.
Is that what Anchorman shaved his beard with?
Anyway, so let's get to Addict's question. So the first part, Addict, King, you're up.
Yes. Okay, this is your guys are ringing the alarms. The cuckoo bells is going up. No, check it out. EA Play is still going to be there. All right. So they already made that commitment. All right. This is how they are not like Sony. All right. This is how they're not like Sony. Sony's not going to be there at all.
Facts.
Okay. At all. So if you're a Sony fan and you thought that banner was going to be out there waiting greatness is in the bushes. They are not showing up. EA will be there with EA Play. We know how EA Play do. EA Play is a big part of the first inaugural weekend, getting you into E3. So if you ever been to E3 and you try to get there just for that Monday to that Thursday, you are missing out on EA Play, which have artists there. They have live concerts. They have playing new games there. They have beverages, shirts, everything. It's a nice extravaganza. They are still committed to E3. Listen, with all the stuff going on with Anthem, with all the stuff that's surrounding them with cancellations of games, I am happy that another one of these fake developers listen, they don't need a press conference. We've been saying this for the longest.
Yeah, you hate those other press conferences.
But what developer does a press conference? Is always
he's talking about that Ubisoft stuff. That's
a publisher, not a developer.
They develop games, right?
Talking about the third party publisher.
Yeah, third party developer. Go right back to showcasing your games and paying that money to have them on Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. We don't care to hear from you. We don't want to hear your voice. Put your best foot forward. Put your games on these people's platform and just shut up and just let those games be played. We don't want to. I never watch your shows. I swear. I'm so when I heard the news.
See, I know for a fact you fraud because we watched Ubisoft when we was at E3.
What happened? What did I do? I tuned the hell out.
He does. I gotta get
can't stand him.
He's never been a fan of.
Well, to be fair, Ubisoft does pretty much show the same stuff every year, like literally every year. They show the Rainbow new expansion coming out in the fall. They show the 400 expansion coming out in the fall. They're like, okay, this is the new Coke we're giving you next year, and then they end the show.
But what did they give you back? This is what you got back when you found out this new information, right? The shows is usually how long? Like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. You got back an hour and a half or 2 hours of quality lifetime. To hell with them.
Yeah, I think what the issues with EA is like they've been ever since they've tried to do a show, they have never gotten props for their show.
Ever. Yeah, that's true. I can't remember
every single time. Like they have made bad calls for whatever reason. Yeah. Like the one I think of, like what was the last time? It was like, why do you have all these YouTube personalities for a live stream?
Why do you have Pele on your stage?
I will give them the year that they had Dragon Age Inquisition though. I thought that was a strong strong one. Remember that?
Was that EA Play though?
I gotta remember. It's been so long. I think that was the last time.
2014.
It was kind of revered because then, and I believe Dragon's Age won Game of the Year that year. If I
yeah, one Game of the Year is a pity.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a slow year.
Any other reasons why, as far as this whole EA thing? He's in.
Look, it looks like nobody cares.
Everyone here.
Look, I'm gonna be real. This is my first E3. I'm scheduled in. I got all that lined up, but I really have, like, everyone was like, one of my friends has been doing this event for like 7 years, and he looks at me and goes, man, he's like, you're gonna want to pack a pillow if you go to EA's conference, because he's like, it's boring. Nobody wants to be here, but we're here because we have to be. They canceled the conference. I'll go to EA Play. I'll do that. I'll chop it up that way. But their conferences, like, does anyone remember last year where they sat down? They're like, we have a Command and Conquer game.
Mobile.
So we're going to bring out 2 professional mobile gamers to show off Command and Conquer, which we don't want to put on your PC or console. We're going to announce the remaster for those games 4 months later. But here's a mobile game, and watch us play a full mobile game for 10 minutes. Terrible. Nobody wants to see that. EA's got nothing to show. They've got the Respawn Star Wars game, which they're already revealing before E3. And as Alex said, they canceled everything else.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Anyone else on this EA's reasoning?
They just don't have anything to show. I mean, Dragon Age is barely being worked on now. That's a next gen game. That's not even remotely ready. So what are they going to talk about? Anthem DLC season 2 stuff or whatever?
I don't think they want to talk about Anthem at all.
Right. They have to. They absolutely have to. But and then Battlefield stuff. Let's say they do release the Battlefield Battle Royale stuff, and it's actually hot and people love it. Like, obviously, you're gonna want to talk about that stuff. So they're in whatever Respawn's new Titanfall thing is that's supposedly coming later this year. So they have stuff to talk about, but I don't think it's enough to.
Isn't Respawn doing the Jedi game, right?
And they're also doing the Jedi game. Yeah.
What about the argument that Apex Legends is such a good place and dominant for them right now? Like, that they could talk about that, release some content, get the base kind of.
I think they can run a Nintendo Direct style video right from EA Play for everybody that's there. And be like, yeah, guess what? You can play it in a few minutes. Like, all the kiosks are there, so you can play. You can play it on the show floor. Whatever when the show floor opens up. Exactly. Stuff like that. I think they can just do. I just don't think they have enough to really warrant a press conference. And like everybody said, like, the ones in the past have been underwhelming. There's no reason for it.
Got you, Mike. Did you get in? Because I had an audio issue. I didn't know if I get.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everybody's saying. I mean, honestly, they really don't have much to show. Just like Sony doesn't really have enough to show, so they're not going to spend resources to do an E3 show if they really don't have anything. And I think we're starting to see a shift now with companies where if they do have something coming down the line, they're able to announce that in other venues, be it like a tweet or a quick video or a direct or something like that, and they could generate hype without having to do the whole E3 thing.
Yeah,
I think that they are going to do something around E3. I don't think it's going to be like
they've confirmed.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like Sony's situation, because Sony's like, we ain't going to be there. We ain't going to be around. We ain't going to even turn that stuff on. We just go sit in our house, and that's all. But I think EA's mindset is, okay, we're going to be there. We have we've already stepped away from the show floor. We might as well just do something our own thing and not even be part of that at all.
Yeah, listen, man, I hear you. I think I agree, Addict. It is a little different in the sense that, like I said, they're going to have some presence as opposed to Sony not being there completely. They're going to do the multi-stream. But I agree with most of you guys on the panel, man. I think it's like one of these things where they're looking at it from a financial standpoint, and this saves them money, I guess, instead of having a traditional press conference. So yeah, I think I'm like the only one who kind of like their little stupid press conference. I used to like to, do sports games or whatever they used to
I was at work last year when I was on the phones at Dish and I was watching their conference and I let it slip. I was watching it with one of my customers. She's like, "Oh, honey, I'll go ahead and get off for you so you can watch." I was like, "Don't worry, it's just EA."
Shout out to Addy.
No, but I mean, to be entirely honest with the E3 in general,
yeah.
I mean, outside of Microsoft and Sony, there's only ever been 2 publishers who actually made it worth your time.
Right.
Ubisoft's got stuff to show. They just do a bad job of showing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Bethesda's got stuff. I mean, they always bring something to the table, at least make it worth it.
I'll give them that. Bethesda usually does have a decent show.
We got to give Edgar that, though. But
I'll give them that. They usually have games to show.
We had to
listen.
I'm worth showing.
I'm not gonna lie.
EA, it's always the same thing. It's here's our sports titles plus 1 game.
Edgar knows when you go to Cali and you go to Bethesda and you from beginning to end, they know how to party. If they don't know how to put out a good game, they know how to party.
Wow.
And maybe they should stop partying and put out some good games.
That's the problem.
We can't generalize, man. All the Wolfenstein stuff.
Check it out. All the Wolfenstein stuff he just didn't see that coming. He did not see that coming. That was a hell of a blow.
Listen, man. Yeah, I mean, Bethesda always definitely puts on a good show. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm old school, man. It's sad to me that these guys are not EA and Sony not going to go. You know, and it shows like Atticus saying, maybe this is the direction. You know what I'm saying? This thing.
We got to stop associating them with Sony. Yeah, let's stop associating them with Sony. Sony's doing something a disservice to their fans. Right? Let's stop associating what they're doing. And you have a lot of Sony fans saying, "See, I told you that E3 is not what the hell with you. EA is still gonna be there." All right,
I will have to give it to them because at the end of the day, they might not be there conference-wise, but you could go somewhere if you're there. Here's the thing: like E3, it used to be about the industry. Now it's about the industry and the fans. And Sony's like, we're not gonna even be present for our friends. And for the actual people that say they don't need to be there, how is the leading industry, the leading platform, not at the biggest conference of the year? Like, it makes no sense. Even if they were just on the show floor, that's still better than not being there at all.
I think we've asked this question before, though. Do you guys really think they don't make a single announcement that whole week to try to take?
No, they're not doing a conference. I think if anything, if that Last of Us rumor's true, I think they might drop a trailer that week. But that's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They'll make an announcement of something that week.
But Sovereign, the hell
we're gonna do it right after the Microsoft conference.
The hell with your BS announcement. Look at the guy that took his $500. Fly in and got his hotel or his Airbnb and he's ready, he's happy. The Sony dude that really don't know anything, that's really not in the Twitter, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna get there, and they are not there in any form of capacity. And I understand that a lot of Sony people, trust me guys, when I went there, I was in that Sony booth. I was all over that Sony stuff. I saw Flute Guy. I saw all of I was there. So if you think I'm talking from a standpoint of an Xbox dude, I'm talking from a standpoint of a gamer and somebody who's paying his hard-earned dollars to go out to Cali to get the best experience and bring you back that stuff. If you're at work and you're tuning into Lords of Gaming Network and you're tuning into ILP on YouTube and you're trying to get these videos, you're trying to be there in spirit. I'm trying to give you the most out of your viewing pleasure, right? So if I can't show you the games from a company that you love, who does that hurt? That hurts you. You understand? So for the fact that they're not there at all, that tells you something, that they don't respect your dollars.
Okay.
And I want to piggyback on King's statement here.
All right, go ahead.
Piggyback in on this. You know what the biggest disservice to me was when Sony pulled out of E3, I went, okay, you want to do your own event, you want to show hardware, stuff's cooking in the oven. I get that because E3 is an industry event. That's what it was made for. It's switching. It's switching gears. It's in a transitional period. They need to figure that out. The biggest disrespect and what made me sad as a video game fan was the amount of people that said when Sony canceled PSX and said, oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter. We don't have anything to show. That event was only about the fans. That was developers and their fans interacting and everything else. As a PlayStation fan, you shouldn't be sitting there going, yeah, that's fine. I don't need to go PSX. I don't want to meet Cory Barlog. I don't want to talk about God of War. I don't want to get my hands on any of these games. That is a disservice to your fan base. That's the key here.
Mind too. They're about to starve you for a year and a half. Think about that for a minute. They're about what was it? They didn't cancel E3 last year. They canceled PSX last year. And now they're canceling E3. And now you're gonna wait till PSX next year.
Okay, let me bring this back to you guys. You guys are bringing up valid points, and I'm glad you guys talking about this because it is important. And what about the mindset that I see that people say, look, they're in such a commanding position, that it's better not to show the same old things over again. Actually, when they have something ready to show, then like to kind of put out a bad product.
Let me counter that, though. The thing is yes, maybe if they haven't had anything, if they don't have a big group announcement to show at E3, I get that because everyone kind of there was a backlash that I didn't quite understand with Sony's E3 last year. I thought the pacing was horrible.
The flute. What about the flute man on deck?
The games they showed were bomb, though. If you remove the gimmicks behind that E3 conference, the games they showed were absolute fire. And what they showed off was phenomenal. How they chose to show it off, not the best. But at the end of the day, I want to see these games. I don't care if we come out and we show off a different trailer for The Last of Us Part 2. I don't care if we see Ghost of Tsushima again. I don't care if I see more Death Stranding. These are games I'm invested in as a consumer. I want to see these games. If you need to change your format and do something else to better showcase these games and showcase these developers, if you made a panel and you did a stream where you get Cory Barlog, Hideo Kojima, and all these guys that are developing these games to sit down and talk about these games, yeah, some people are going to be like, oh, this is boring. But there's going to be...
They went in on the couches, though, Undead. Remember, they tried that.
Yeah, and I know. And you know what?
We don't need a therapy session.
As someone who enjoys that kind of thing, though, it makes me sad to see them moving away from that because back in 2016, I'm an Xbox guy. I was screaming, Xbox doesn't communicate. They don't do this. They don't do that. PlayStation's got PSX. They got E3. They do Paris Games Week. They do Tokyo Game Show. What is Xbox doing? Now we get an Inside Xbox every month. We have XO events, and they're doing E3, and Sony cancels PSX, isn't doing E3, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you some blog posts. Yeah. It's like they flipped roles.
I do low key think Sony's getting full of themselves. Like, I really do.
A kiosk with Ghost of Tsushima, and you don't get a kiosk of all the new games like The Last of Us 2. You don't walk into the showroom floor. I don't care if you don't have a press conference.
Right.
You don't get hands-on potential
that
buyers.
That's my biggest issue with them is you don't have to have a conference, but be there for your fans. Like,
hey, Mike.
Right. I mean, it's like you have to be there for your fans. Show the exclusives that you do have coming out, even if we already know what they are. But you have to remember, too, Sony's got all the marketing and licensing deals this gen. So you would think that they would want to put, because they have the marketing deal with Call of Duty, that they would want to put Modern Warfare 4 on there.
If you look last year, they didn't show no third-party stuff at their conference last year. Yeah, but like one game.
But I am here's a hypothetical, though. Yeah. Here's a hypothetical question I can ask, though. What if they're not?
What if they're not what?
What if they're not getting those marketing deals? And that's
here's the question on top of your question. What happens to the games that have the marketing deals, right? And Sony doesn't have that presence that would normally show on the Sony stage, right?
Because I've been told that is something they do use to get that marketing rights. It's we could show you on the biggest stage of the year. We're the leading platform. We could show you when all of our fans are tuning in for E3. They're not even there.
Yeah, it's Christopher Hart going in on y'all. He said it's funny how
you got to go to the super shit. For us to read that, Chris, you got to put it in bold letters. I can't see that. I'm sorry, brother. We got another topic, brother. We got another topic.
Cognito's like, just move on. He's like, it's not green or red.
It got to be green. I got to see it in green. I don't see it in green, so I can't even. What that said? Can't see it.
Oh my God, that's out of control. I'm trying to rep for you, Chris.
I'm not gonna shine that light. You're gonna make me talk. You gotta have to make me talk. You see that little button right there that says the dollar sign? You're gonna have to make me read that.
And that amount is gonna have to be $5.
It could be $1. It could be $1. I don't care about you. Make me read it. Make me read all that. I see work. It's scroll. It's gone.
Shout out to the super chat shaving. Shout out to King for premium.
New topic.
You know what's funny? Because we were talking to Kid Smooth about that. He's like, and talked about something about super chats. He's like, I don't really address anything non-super chat anyway. Oh my
God, shout out to Megatron laughing right now. Yo, Lord King, since you want the next topic so bad, you are up.
Oh,
Nintendo. What's going on with Grandpa, man?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, Grandpa is a swindler, an old-time hustler, baby. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you've never seen anybody do it, this boy done made cardboard great again. You see this? This right here could be your next console. All right, listen, Nintendo. If you think it's a joke, Nintendo told you that piece that I put up there can be playable. Now check this out, right? Oh, no. Nintendo is entering the VR space. Are you serious, King? Damn facts. And they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it in a way.
I got to get in this skit with you, King. What are they doing, King?
Well, let me tell you, Addict.
We got commercial.
Let me tell you, Addict. They're doing just like Google Cardboard, but they're doing it on a greater scale.
What are they doing with the greater scale, King?
They're charging you $79.95 for the VR kit. And you know what you get with that?
What do you get with the King?
You get the complete Labo VR kit that includes Switch software, materials to build all 6 con toys.
Oh, man, having too much fun with this.
Toy-Con VR goggles. You got the blaster. You got the camera. You got the, what is that? The bird. You got the wind pedal. You got the elephant. And also you got a screen holder and a safety cap. That's for $79.95.
Are you going to buy that, King?
No, but check this out. If you can't afford that, they also have the broke dude kit. All right, so
that's the broke dude kit.
The broke dude kit goes for $39.95, and that comes with the starter blaster. So check this out, right? You get the goggles, you get the blaster, and also you get the screen holder and the safety cap. Hey, and if that's not enough, Nintendo's back in your pockets for the expansions. Those expansions go for $19.95 each, and they all are cardboard.
No, I'm telling you right now, what's going to happen? PlayStation's going to come out with their competing thing, the PlayStation goggles, which would be next to it.
I want to bring this to the floor. Yo, they even tell you can turn off the fake VR in it because it's like a glorified well, everybody had a Viewmaster when they were small.
Yes,
yeah. All right. It's a glorified bro, you putting this on your eyes and you just clicking the button. Yo, I want to know how the hell are these guys doing this, and they're doing it. You're $79.95. They really putting this out there. Please, somebody help me, Sway. Help me.
Oh my God, yo, Saul, we ain't trying to cut it our heads off. My blood pressure is.
We gotta pay the bills. Real quick, so. You gotta pay the bills for real quick.
Oh, Nintendo's the only company that can literally sell people cardboard and they buy it.
Fact. Shout out to Fastback.
Look, you know what? I think we need a Patreon of King putting together a Labo.
Word. Yo, shout out to Fastback OG with the $10 super chat. The console wars in chat to the bushes. Gaming is gaming no matter system, exclusive, third party, AAA, or indie. Hit that like button, share, and sub to the Iron Lords. Anthem, aka FTW.
I won't make a comment on that Anthem thing just because you did a super chat. But if it wasn't a super chat, I would have said it's in the bushes.
Hold on. I gotta get Undead, man. with this.
Art, you see, that's how you get your stuff read.
Where are you at with
all right, so we all know why Labo's a thing. It's recycled Wii U boxes they couldn't sell. All right.
So are you saying that's like the stuff? Oh, we ordered too much. Let's make it into a game.
Look, the first thing I saw, I logged on to Twitter, and Jeffrey Grubb, shout out to him on Twitter. He said he has this tweet, and it's this guy. He's got the VR set on, and there's a cardboard duck on his head, and he's like, "Hey, mom, look what's up this duck's butt!" Like,
wow.
Only Nintendo can sell you cardboard that you're gonna put your Switch in, strap it on your head to see a 720p 30 FPS game. Like, people are like, "Oh man, I can't use PSVR or HTC Vive to get motion sickness." Yeah, you gotta get real.
That's what it is. It's what it is. It's like, how can you vomit the quickest with the Nintendo Labo?
I got a serious question, King. Lord King, we need to have this answered right now. Is LordCognito and LordSovILP buying this?
Yo, Sig, Sob, they come out and like, yo, why is Sob Cognito quiet?
They didn't even purchase.
Well, what they're doing is on Amazon right now, pre-ordering this.
It is.
I give it to King. I give it to King. He went out there and bought Labo. He did that with his kid. Oh, you did it? I thought you got it.
Oh, he's shaming you. He said you was a supporter.
Wait, no, hold up.
Put me in the bushes like that. Like, you really put me inside the bushes.
Hold up. Best part of this is wait till Soldier Boy comes out with a plastic bag VR version where you put the Switch in a plastic bag. Then you put the plastic bag over your head.
The Soldier Boy Labo is new.
The Soldier Boy cardboard.
The Soldier Boy. Listen, Labo did not do as well as we thought it was going to do. You have heard nothing from Labo.
Hold on. I got to pay the bill. Shout out to Dizzy with the $25 super chat. He said, I need a King and Attic infomercial every episode going forward. Please and thank you. They love y'all Labo VR commercial. Y'all tag team for this one. This is the payback for us. We respect They like, oh, they coming for us. So Labo ain't doing
it. I never said I was getting Labo. Did you get Labo, Kyle?
I get Labo, but they coming at us. Remember, we always say that no matter what Switch do this generation, they win. So
I can't do no wrong.
No, but this listen, at the very bottom of the barrel base level thing, I want to see what this looks like, because the thing is,
because you're gonna buy it.
You gotta think about like.
Oh, you gotta imagine. Hold up, son. What's up? You just gotta imagine. All you gotta imagine is that box with 2 holes. There you go.
That's what it looked like. I just showed you.
The thing is, like, if you think about like the cheapest VR headsets out there right now, they're like blowing the specs of this out of the water. Like, there's no VR to this. They just threw VR on there as a part. There's no VR in there. Like, I don't know what the hell they're gonna show you.
This thing
they're
is
just gonna show you an empty box. That's the VR, an empty box.
What is it? How you simulate a black hole in VR?
This thing is like 5 times one of those little cheap ass ones that you get at like Five Below, and it's made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
You put it on there, like, and it just says like there's like a little button you press on it. That's just an audio. It's like visualize Mario.
Here's what I think. Right? I think Nintendo is perfecting their cardboard technology so that in 21-25, when they come out with their own streaming box, it's just going to be a literal box.
You got to repeat that. Man.
Oh
They're cardboard technology.
The cardboard technology.
Those 2 words shouldn't even be in the same thing. Anyway,
let me tell you,
the art of cardboard.
Nintendo Labo is like my hairline, receding.
No, but see, y'all think it's a joke, right? They are actually winning with this. That Labo is sold out when you go to GameStop. And is
it sold out because they're not restocking it?
No,
what it is.
No, yo, listen. Anchor, they actually sell this stuff. It's actually being sold. There's little kids.
That's because it's cardboard. One truck got stolen. It took the whole inventory.
Yo, if you get wet, you gotta buy another one. Like little kids are actually walking around with the backpack on, and they're doing the punching. And I say this is absolutely ingenious. But the fact that you're selling something marketed towards VR that has zero VR, all right?
It has to have zero VR.
It doesn't even have a strap for your head. Like, it's not even a strap. Like, you don't have a strap on your head, and it defies.
Lord King, we need that fraud alert, man. We need the fraud alert. This is the fraud thing, man. They try to pull one off.
You reaching because you get the boot every week. That's why you're reaching right now.
Listen, man. I mean, like, I be jumping. This is
got to be closer, King.
Oh my God! This is it. Listen, man.
This is me on Labo.
King, man. I'm not even mad at them. Like, get
of
your.
course, you're not mad.
I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them.
Listen, I thought the Labo was nothing to be interested in. I thought I laughed through the whole commercial. I was like, what is this? What are they trying to do? This thing looks really cheaply made. You know what I'm saying? And clearly I'm not the target demographic for that.
Wait a second. There's a Labo under his bed.
All they have to do to get LordCognito on this is do a white set Labo. He's done that, man.
If they got them get the games Labo, I might have to check it out now. But all jokes aside, man, every time I bet against the Switch this gen, they prove me wrong. I think this thing might move, yo.
No.
I think it might move.
You understand, Cog? It's a Labo of love.
Wow.
No, look, I can make Xbox Labo right now. Kitchen knife, Xbox One, Xbox.
I appreciate. I got to interrupt. I appreciate everyone for coming out. I got to take off. I got to get ready for work.
He's rushing.
I gotta say this before
I promise I won't EMP when I leave.
But before you leave, I gotta tell you, low key though. Every time I'm watching you on camera today, I keep thinking I'm watching an episode of Alaskan Bush People.
Man, I do have admin privileges on this channel. You realize that, right?
Yeah, he can podcast. Be careful. She showed.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Later. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I mean, I think they still might be okay. So $40.
This is the thing that we laugh at it because it's not for us, but it is for somebody. And somebody's gonna go buy that.
Matter of fact, when we had Hogue on the show, remember Hogue had it orders this for his kids?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
No.
The thing is what King said is like they might get pushback because I can't see any real anything really resembling VR being utilized in this.
Right.
And how many people really know what VR is? Right. Like, this is the thing. They can fool any damn one. Like, if you don't know what VR is and you give it to this little 4-year-old, this little 5-year-old, and you be like, here, Tommy, VR. And he really runs away with that, and he really thinks that's what VR is. They might change the narrative on VR.
Shout out to Fastback. Like, we laughing, and then I wouldn't be surprised if that MPD come out and we see the $40 version lead at least in the top 5 on the MPD.
I believe you.
You know how they do. So if they can fraud, nobody knows it's real VR or not. Coming in at $30 price point.
95. They are not playing.
Dude, they got the $80 for all of them. Oh man, my only question is, what is the actual quality of this VR experience?
I don't want to put it.
And that's the thing, because if kids start throwing up left and right, then you're gonna have a problem. Like, I mean, if you think about PSVR and you need a $200 headset, at minimum $200 console, and that is an okay experience. What is this gonna give you?
I don't think is what we think. I think is a Viewmaster. I think you actually put it on and you actually probably see the images in 3D and it, hit the slide.
Like those 3D, what was it? The pictures they do like on Facebook.
Yeah,
it's a 360 view. Like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I don't think they have kids actually running around with that on, running into walls and doing all this crazy stuff. I think it's a Viewmaster sit down type of thing. I think they're gonna master this space. I really honestly do.
I think so too. I'm laughing, but I think you never know, man. They know something we clearly don't because they are pushing this thing. They're still supporting it. We gotta see, man. We got a lot of time. Just get this thing out of here. LordSov, Sekiro, and Days Gone, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm just gonna bloviate a little bit, man, because I'm super excited. I'm super excited for these games. Woo. So finally, we started getting some gameplay previews, and embargoes were going up for Sekiro. We can actually see at least an hour, 2 hours worth of gameplay. And you've often heard us talk on the podcast about Channel 5 and the origins of the Iron Lords and what that meant to us. And, again, I know we've reiterated this a million times, but for us, Channel 5, when we say something's Channel 5, it takes us back to those days, Saturday afternoons, Kung Fu Theater, or like on Fox 5. Like, we just spent Saturday afternoons just watching, Five Deadly Venoms, Bruce Lee, all that old stuff. And anytime we saw a hot fight with smooth flowing, like moves and whatnot, that's Channel 5 does. That's what we call Channel 5. And for me, Sekiro is that. And it does it in a way, and what makes me super excited about it is the fact that it's in a genre that has sort of gradually moved towards continuously improving their combat. If you look at the Souls games, right? Dark Souls, the combat has always been sort of a little bit stilted, very slow, very dependent on blocking and then finding your openings. And then with Bloodborne, that evolved somewhat where it was more about the attack and moving side to side. And I think Sekiro takes that even a step further because now it incorporates the defense with the offense, being right up on your opponent, deciding whether you want to parry or whether you want to straight up attack or whether you want to use stealth to approach them in a way that none of these games have ever done before.
Facts.
And for me, like there's two universal truths that I sort of live by. And this is stupid, but you want to make anything better, you add bacon to it or you add ninjas to it. Bacon and ninjas, that's it.
He said put a little ninja on it.
Sprinkle a little bacon, a little ninja on anything and you're good.
You got called. You know me.
It looks like Tenchu reborn, like Tenchu on the next level.
The thing is, when we originally saw it, one of the first the first videos they put up of it, they showed that exact Tenchu animation when he's creeping around corners, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, so this is not Tenchu, but they're incorporating things from it. And in seeing all this video now, they've incorporated everything that was great about Ninja Gaiden, Tenchu, and the Soul series all in one, and then even going back to other stealth series like Splinter Cell, where it's the ability to engage the way you want is there. See, in a Souls game, for the most part, you have to engage up front. That's it. You're face to face, right? And I have no doubt in this game that the engagements, at least with bosses, are going to be in that realm where it's going to be face to face. I don't know they're just going to allow you to sneak around bosses and kill them, but when engaging with the world at large, it feels like your choice to engage with your enemies is there. You can be pure stealth.
Yes.
And then oftentimes pure stealth will still open you up to being attacked by groups of enemies. And then at that point, the real Channel 5 takes place where you're parrying and you're going back and forth, dodging back in and out of I saw things in these videos that really just blew me away. I can't express how excited I am for Sekiro. And it's crazy because for me, I enjoy Souls games, right? I'm not super into, like, I know people really, really love them. This might take me to the next level. It really seems like a special game to me because it elevates the Souls formula, and at the same time, I think it makes it more accessible to people who haven't been really into the Souls games because of this ability to tackle things differently. It feels like it could appeal to more people.
No, I feel you, man. First of all, you're trending bacon and ninjas right now. You're trending
bacon and ninjas.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna jump in real quick because you got me hyped, and I gotta owe this to you. Oh, we gotta pay the bills. Shout out John B with the $5 super chat. Speaking with passion, all the jokes to the side. ILP, one of the only podcasts that gives you real gamer talk. Salute, Lord. Oh, that's my dude, John B with the best jokes in
John B.
chat. Period. His R. Kelly jokes today was on fire. I had to say that. His R. Kelly jokes.
He said 12 play.
Yeah, I couldn't say them because I didn't want to get.
See, Jonathan B. If you want these real raunchy jokes to be shown, you found your conduit.
Well, I want to shoot out. I want to actually shout out Solve, man. I blame you, man. Like I wasn't really checking for Sekiro like that. And then me and you talked actually last night, and we on the drive up. And shout out to Tim Dog, Megatron, and the crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lemon. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time last night. And yeah, I was like, all right, let me see what Solve talk about with the latest new stuff, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is just Souls with a little, background switch, so to speak. So then I'm checking it, and I'm like, yo, shout out to Eurogamer. They got a good one out right now. And it was running on, I think it was running on the Pro. And bro, not only did it look good, the thing that surprised me was, like you said, it had the stealth. Then the traversal with the grappling hook.
Oh my God.
That made it real. So he's moving around the map. You can stealth, you can do all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I had no idea stealth mechanics were actually in a Souls game. And it moves super fast, moves super fluid. The sword play, you got to be right, on timing with your strikes and stuff like that.
The parry.
I ain't gonna front, Solve. You got me on this, man, because I'm low key. I'll be frauding on them Souls games. It's not that the games are whack to me. It's just that, like, I've never been a fan of like the dark setting, and I didn't never like the characters. You throw in that feudal Japan, ninjas, grappling hook stuff. Now I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm with you, man.
And this more so than those other games. I think the storytelling is going to be more linear and traditional in those other games. Because if you look at a Souls game and you look at a Bloodborne game, like From Software are masters of environmental storytelling, and their worlds are integral to the story just as much as anything else.
Right.
And their worlds sort of tend to double back on each other, right? In very interesting ways. I don't doubt that's going to be a case with Sekiro, but the fact that the story is so pronounced and it's not, I don't know that there'll be a lot of secrets necessarily uncovered. I think it's going to be a straightforward story, like a revenge tale. Obviously, there's something that's going to come up, obviously. But I think that's going to help it be accessible to more people as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, that's really all that. Again,
what I was gonna say is what gets me about Sekiro is that it is the stealth aspect of it. Because the part that I hate about stealth games, at least ones that provide options to you, is they almost always favor the loud approach.
Right.
They almost always are geared towards that, and the stealth stuff is kind of like just an afterthought.
Yeah. Like
Assassin's Creed moved that direction. And I know for a fact Adam would agree with me on that. Like they move that direction. Where at first it was like, okay, it's geared more towards stealth, but you could largely just do it loud and proud and do what you got to do. But with Sekiro, because I always wanted a game where it was more like stealth is the preferred way to do it. You can fight them, but it's a pain in the ass, and they reward you more for doing it stealthily.
Yeah,
that's got me interested. That's got my foot in the door.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What about Undead and Mike? Man, you guys got any inklings on Sekiro? Did anything change? Or you guys are still getting it, or
I'm definitely getting it, man. I got it pre-order, and I typically don't like stealth games, but I mean, I'm not really that big of a Souls player. The only Souls game that I really got into and enjoyed was Bloodborne, but just everything about this game, the traversal, the combat, the setting, the art style, something about it just kind of hooked me. And it's like, I really want to play it.
Absolutely. Undead, where you at, man? Sekiro.
I don't play From Software games. I don't typically like From Software games, but I got the Sekiro Collector's Edition on lock.
Because baby, it's ninjas.
Ninjas and bacon.
Ninjas and bacon. Like, no, seriously, Sekiro is what I wanted From Software to do, because honestly, I think they're a very, very talented studio. They do amazing things with the Dark Souls series. I think Bloodborne was a really good breakout title of kind of changing their pace. Dark Souls 3 was them perfecting that formula. I think Sekiro is going to open them to an even wider audience, because they're showing we can do this, but we can also do this much more as well. And they are absolutely going to prove it's going to be one of the best games that releases this year. I absolutely believe that. And they're bringing back something from Demon Souls, which people may not remember, is the more times you die, it changes the NPCs around you.
Really?
So it changes how the NPCs interact. And some NPCs, they even said in some of the previews that if you die too many times, certain NPCs and side quests will not be available to you because those NPCs will die.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
So you actually have to, it comes to a point, if you want to do a 100% run through of this game, you got to count your deaths and make sure that you're not dying stupidly doing things rambunctiously. So this is going to be one of those games where you got to pace yourself, take your time, and that's what From Software games are all about.
That's what's up. Didn't realize that. King.
All right, this is my joint is gonna be twofold. All right, when Phil was on stage and that game was shown, I was like, oh my god, the new Tenchu. I thought it was the new Tenchu. I'm losing my mind. And then it said From Software, and I automatically gave out a sigh of oh boy.
Here go your controller.
Oh boy, here we go. Because I'm the one that played Bloodborne and couldn't get past the werewolf when you first started. And now I'm the one that played Dark Souls and was trying to figure out why is this dead guy here, and he was telling me something, but I died just like the dude right there. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that tries to play these Dark Souls games that send soul of redemption joint. I'm trying. My skill is not of that caliber for this. I need to just run in and shoot stuff up and bang stuff out. Pause. And all right. So now this is what we used to do back in our Tenchu days. We used to give the controller to Cognito and Sovereign. Right. And we all sit in the dark eating popcorn, watching them play. And they will go and Sinister, and they would sneak around corners and hide in the bush. Watch out, the dog. And we'd be in the background, and it'd be like a Channel 5 movie, and they'd be killing people. And so that's why my skill of that game never grew. So at one point, I was super elated. Right. And then when I saw it said From Software,
that was it.
I said, there goes my game in the bushes. Oh, right. So I'm gonna say this, right? I hope it makes it to Game Pass. I really hope it does, because it's another game like Neo, the Neo game that was for PlayStation, right? Yep. Now this let me know if I'm right or wrong here. But I know Souls games making it onto the Xbox platform was a huge thing. Right. And the fact that this game is coming day and day to an Xbox and a PlayStation platform, I don't know if it's launched on PC the same day. That's a huge thing. For those people that love this type of break your controller, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life next type of game. For me, the fact that From Software is on the develop, I can't buy this game. But
I love that, just their name, their presence of difficulty alone.
I would watch a streamer play it. I would admire it from a distance. But if it get in the Game Pass, I too will cry and throw a controller. But I'm not buying this game to be frustrated.
Also, we got Kiss Moon. He definitely doing that Sekiro challenge, just like he did.
That's right.
So he's got that going on. And then we got one more. What's that? That Days Gone, man.
Yeah, man. So Days Gone was a game that when it was initially shown in 2016, a lot of people sort of just laughed it out of the building. It wasn't necessarily a good showing, and it looked like it was a cookie cutter sort of zombie game. A cookie cutter zombie game that was trying to capitalize on the zombie craze. And it was sort of what many people felt was a weird game to sort of promote on the Sony side, with the humongous shadow of Last of Us 2 sort of looming. It didn't make sense to sort of be promoting this type of game and to be putting this type of game out. So now 3 years later, the game's gone gold. It's releasing in April, and we've finally been able to get, I guess, the embargo lifted on a few hours of initial gameplay. And I have to say, for the most part, the previews that I've seen, everyone who had an initial trepidation about this game is saying this game is probably going to be good, maybe great. And it speaks to a couple of things, right? It speaks to things that we've always given Sony credit for, which is sticking with with properties and with games that people maybe their initial releases aren't the greatest, and then they allow them to flourish and become great. And the fact that they didn't sort of tell Ben to go back to the drawing board and maybe this is not a route that we want to take, and they allowed them to continue to make this game and polish it to the point that it's now something that some people are super excited for its release. I think it's great, and I think it's interesting. And as for me, I was one of those that was really on, I was down on it. I said, this doesn't feel like anything super interesting. Right. It just doesn't feel like it feels like a real cookie cutter take on the Sony formula. Right. And then seeing some of this preview stuff, I'm like, wow, maybe they made the combat deeper. They've allowed you to now choose how you engage things, much in the same way like Sekiro. Like you can do things stealthily, you can do things sort of blowing everything up. And then the crafting mechanic and the sort of the economy and sort of upgrading of your weapons and stuff like that seems like it's refined in a way that's very cool. That again, it wasn't something that they necessarily were able to explain properly when they first talked about the game. In addition to that, the whole thing about the freakers, the zombies that are in the game, the way that you
freakers. Sound like they got on tube tops.
Yeah. So apparently they've expanded. I know one thing that people thought was cool when they initially talked about the game was how you could sort of funnel them into these choke points and try to kill them. There was some sort of strategy involved in that. And I think that whole thing, So I think that whole thing they've sort of expanded on. And honestly, like pretty much every single preview that I've seen has turned on the game.
Turned in a positive way.
In a positive way. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get Anchorman, man. Where you at? Days Gone, man.
I want to say, first of all, you're welcome. I got you guys the lead from Days Gone live on the show, Mr. Undead.
Oh, I didn't know he was the lead.
Oh, he's the lead.
Okay, just because every generic white guy with a beard, like, come on now.
and he still has the best porno name in the business.
Oh, yeah, Deacon.
Y'all are out of control.
Can't say that, don't. Yeah, man. So hey, where you at with this, man? Does it interest you a little bit more, or you weren't really messing with it? Where you at with Days Gone?
It's a zombie game. I don't care. In the bushes.
Oh, wow. All right. There you go.
I don't play zombie games.
Wait a minute. Fallout is ostensibly a zombie game. Like it's zombies running around Fallout.
No. I'm talking about the zombies are the only enemy type in this game. No, you can call them freakers. You can call them whatever you want. They're zombies. They play like zombies.
They got other human groups and stuff you got to fight against.
Nah, it's a zombie game.
No doubt. Not of interest. Mike P. the Truth. Where we at?
Man, I just finished Resident Evil 2. I got to go back to State of Decay 2 still. Bushes.
Oh,
wow, really? Just because it's zombie, you just gotta get away from the zombies, or you just
fatigue?
I'm just, honestly, I didn't see the new gameplay for it. It's just that I don't know. I just gotta want to cool it on the zombies for a little bit.
I feel you.
I was done with zombies back in 2012. I made this decision a long time ago.
The lead of Days Gone, Undead. While we in there,
I'm in Days Gone day one. There's a couple of reasons for this. Days Gone is a zombie game, so I'm there day one. Unlike Mike and Ivan, I 100% zombie games. I play them, I buy them. Like one of my favorite games of this generation is State of Decay 2. Okay, like the amount of fun I had with friends and the amount of time I put into that game, the fact that I still boot that game up at least once a week to dive in and have some more fun. I love zombie games. I love Sony Bend. They have a pedigree with the Siphon Filter series. They did an amazing Uncharted Vita title. Their pedigree speaks volumes for who they are. The fact they've been working on this game for like 6-7 years, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it. They have settled some worries I had. There were some things about the game that kind of made me go, really? That's a weird design choice, because it was like a really super serious setting they were trying to sell, and then they had him on the motorcycle, and I'm like, so if they're attracted to noise and I'm driving around on a motorcycle, like, I've got questions. But they seem to have ironed out the character. They seem to have ironed out what this game is. which is very important. I think what they really need to do before they launch this game, though, is they really need to sell people that this isn't The Last of Us. Because they've done a really poor job prior to the most recent previews at showing what this game does differently than The Last of Us. Because the thing is with The Last of Us, you had to focus, okay, I've got 3 clickers, 2 bullets, and 1 brick. How am I going to get through this?
Right.
Whereas with this game, you're still going to need to do resource management and everything else, but you're going to run into hordes where you're facing like thousands of these things, right?
Man.
And you need to show that off, and especially need to show off this horde tech that they're using, because we have World War Z dropping the week before, which is also selling horde, quote unquote, horde tech.
Yes.
So they need to diversify and show what this game's about. But I'm really excited about it. I'm glad to see that they've taken this year compared to what we saw last year in that game, or even earlier. Yeah, it was last year with the Game Informer preview where it was kind of looking really rough. The bullet play did, the gunplay didn't look good. They've really taken that time. They've polished it up. I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be a good game. I don't think people need to put in like the Spider-Man, God of War. Not every game is going to hit that level, but I think this is going to be a really solid, good game.
I hear you on that. Lord King, man, Days Gone, where you at, bro?
Now,
no.
Now, I this right here, I give to every last one of you Sony fake fans.
Uh-oh.
All right, I want to tell you, Sony fake fans, you Sony fraud fans, every last one of y'all, and I want y'all to keep that same energy when the game comes out. I don't want y'all to talk about I was riding day one. The second I saw that game, I said I am in. If I don't care what like Undead said, he saw something that everything I saw of that game, it was top quality to me. All right, see now you see the From Software. You saw that? That was my genre. Here we go. This is my genre now. Popping them guns. So I'm popping them guns. I'm running from zombies. I'm blowing them up. I told my son the other day. I said I can't wait to get that game in the house so I can set zombies on fire. That's exactly what I told him. He said, and we're going to do it together, Daddy. All right, so I'm molding him into a little king. So the fact that I'm able to hoard him up into one area and get a mass kill on, I hope it's a kill count. All right, so the game looks, listen, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Sony does single player experiences better than anybody this generation. So I don't know who the hell was questioning what was going on over at Sony, but I know it wasn't that game you're supposed to be questioning. Now, maybe y'all want The Last of Us first. See, this is where you're suffering from Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame-itis, right? You're looking forward to that end game, but you're not trying to get this game first. Right, so you're not going to respect this game. Now you're going to have some people come out and say, "Oh, this game isn't really what I wanted." Okay, so you really want The Last of Us? Save your bucks for The Last of Us, and don't worry about this. Don't put your 2 cents into this if you're not even going in. You're going half-hearted. Save your wallet and go to The Last of Us. But this guy is going to get the highest level edition I can get for this game because it looks amazing, and I'm playing on a pro. I don't play on a simple, a slim, or basic.
PlayStation gaming again. If they don't have a pro,
right. If you don't have a pro, I don't want to hear nothing you talking about.
Yo, shout out to Solid Rev in the chat. Let's see, say what's up, Lords. That's what's going on. I haven't seen Rev in a minute. We gotta get him on. Listen, man, I'm with y'all. Listen, it's weird because like I was calling it like Sons of Anarchy zombies. Like, yo, I like it, fam. Like, I mean, even from the beginning, I just like that horde tech. I like how it was this massive zombies and you could use, stuff against them, with the initial vision. And then they had like the other rival group. So it was like you had the zombies, you had the humans, human gangs and stuff like that. I like that they really went back in the drawing board. They kind of like improved the narrative aspect. So that part to me really showed me that they take it a little bit more serious. And shout out to Ben, man. Like they listening to the complaints. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't like the initial stuff, even though I liked it. And they gave it time to cook. So based on what I'm seeing, I'm with Undead, man. Like I like zombie games as long as it's done right. If the story, the narrative is cool, and they do that dynamic between the human gangs and the zombie hordes. They got, and then you get your little Daryl Dixon on, man.
Yo,
and all that, man.
Your Con, don't you really want to be able to bring a horde over to a rival game?
Get the rival game
and set it up and just sit in the back and watch them eat them. Like, this is what I want to do.
Dude, it's funny you said that because I remember one of the early previews of the game, they were using the horde as a mechanic against other enemies. Like, I liked that aspect of it. So I'm with it, man. I'm gonna give it a shot, man. Again, I think people got to keep their expectations in check. Not everything gonna be God of War, not everything gonna be Last of Us. And I think you know what it is? I think for the Sony base, because Last of Us is there and it is what it is, and as soon as you see zombies, you automatically kind of pit. I just think this is a different lane, and they're not trying to do that. So if you, like you said, King, if you come in there looking for Last of Us, this is not that. You know what I'm saying? But let's give it a shot on its own merit, and I think it might be a solid, 7, 8. See what it do, man. That's all I got, man. So yeah, we gotta get out of here. Y'all already know about the Xbox SADE. It's out here, the all digital edition. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it, but Saul, if you want to finish up your topic, and then we just get your point.
Yeah, I'm just super excited for these games, man. We've had some start to the year. It really has been kind of nuts. And when it comes to Sekiro, like, I'm double dipping. Like, we're gonna be at PAX when that game is out, and I'm not taking my Xbox with me. So yeah, I'll be getting it on PC as well.
All right.
I meant to ask you a question earlier. Do you think Sekiro existing is a sign that Bloodborne 2 is dead?
I don't think so. I think Bloodborne 2 is still going to be a Sony property. So I think, they're just taking their sweet time with it, and they wanted to do something different with the formula. I'm glad, because that means we're getting it on Xbox, and Bloodborne 2 I don't think that's happening. So I don't think it's dead. Not at all.
Yeah, that's days going, y'all. And I already know. I just wanted to throw in we got the official name for the digital system. They're clowning it, they're calling it the SADE.
Yeah, they need to change that acronym, please.
Yeah, we went from Xbox.
I don't know who's naming things over at Xbox, but they gotta stop.
But real quick, because the Lord's already kind of talked about this as far as the all digital system. At least my perspective is more experimental phase. They want to, try to test the market and then see what happens as far as maybe potentially Lockhart, or if it gets a good reception. Multiverse, boys, what do you guys think, man, as far as the console?
I mean, you could call me Nostradamus, because I wrote an article like a year ago about this, and I called that they were going to do this eventually. So, I mean, it's inevitable. And I mean, if there's a way that they come out with an all-digital console and whatever cost savings they have from that, sell it at a cheaper price, help them move more units, I think it's a no-brainer for them. If people are out there crapping on it on social media. Nobody's saying you have to buy it. It's just an option.
They corrected us. They're saying it's not the SADE. It's the Xbox SADE, SADE. Baby, they said we got it on. We got to throw that E on for SADE. Put some respect on it. Smooth operator.
I'm done.
Taboo.
I'm done.
Yo, I'm dead. And Anchor, man, where you at, man? Xbox SADE.
Ivan, you want to go?
No, you go ahead. All
right. I don't know. It's options. I got an X. I really don't care about having another Xbox. I'm past that point. Options are good. People can buy whatever they want to buy. A digital-only console makes sense. I would have loved to have seen them do something with the X, do a discless X, make it cheaper. That would have been, because we've seen it in NPD's data stating that Pros and X's are the ones that are moving really well. So if they made a discless X or a Pro, I'd understand that a bit more. I think it's just options, and they're testing the waters on, can we sell people a digital-only console? Will people buy that?
Yeah, facts. Anchor, I'm going to let you close it out.
I think it really just, because if it's like a little bit cheaper, like if it's like, you can buy like an S, you can buy an S for what, $300, something like that, new.
Yeah,
and if it's not going to be significantly cheaper, it's not going to really matter.
Right. So
if they can put something out there, they can say like, what was that?
No, I'm sorry. You think it's got to be significantly? So like, give me a price point that you think it could work.
Like if this thing's under $200.
Like $179.99
for that Xbox SADE.
$179.99.
Right now, what's the S right now, y'all? What's the S right now?
Like $250.
That's still too much. Yeah, they gotta bring it.
$250, but you get it for $179.95. You know, on a Black Friday, you bust that down to like a $150, and the door get them in, get them out type of thing. I honestly would once the next generation starts up, I will get my children that this system as far as just, you know, having a stream box type of digital thing. So I mean, I don't know. It is viable for my children. It's not viable for me. I need that 4K beautifulness.
Oh, you already know. You already know. So that's what you got. That's what you got on the price point, Hank, all right?
Yeah, it's got to be significantly cheaper to be worth our time.
There we go. Y'all heard it from the fans. Get that SADE price down. We in there. So let's wrap this out of here, man. New ILP poll this week with the recent PS4 firmware announcement allowing remote play functionality to iOS phones and tablets. Do you think this will eventually lead to Sony adopting a more aggressive streaming approach with PS Now? The choices are A, no. Remote play has existed for years. PlayStation Now will remain the same. B, yes. Similar to xCloud, PlayStation Now will evolve to any device. Or C, I don't care. I'm not interested unless I get that PS Now on my toaster. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up. Lords of the Multiverse, an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. Where can the fine people find you? What do you have going on? Let's start with Lord Anchorman.
All right, so you can find me personally at Anchorman V2 on pretty much every single platform, Xbox, PlayStation. If you want my Switch social security number, you know how to hit me up on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Anchorman V2. It's all the same. If you want to follow the Multiverse Show and watch us and that kind of stuff, you can go find us on YouTube at Multiverse Show, or you can find us on Twitter also at Multiverse Show. No space for that one. We are going live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So as we normally do Mondays. Who knows?
You gonna talk about that?
Man, if they change all these release dates, what?
You gonna talk about that Captain Marvel?
Maybe I might go see that later today. I know that I know James has seen it, and I know that Sam has seen it.
Oh, so you got to see it. Okay.
Yeah, so I got to see if I can make it out today to go see it or not.
No
doubt. Still kind of personally.
Absolute pleasure to have the multi-bros in the building. Lord Mike P. The Truth with his debut, the dawn of the Legion, the Gaming Gambino.
Yes, indeed.
My man, what's going on, man? Where can the fine people find you, bro?
All right, guys. So you can find me writing opinion pieces for the Inner Circle at tickgamesnetwork.com. Pretty much every gaming platform at Mike P. The Truth. Kind of like what Ivan said. If you want my Switch international phone number, just DM me. And on Twitter at The Truth of Mike P.
Woo! The Truth. I love that name. Shout out to Mike P with the debut and Undead, my man, the Lord of Perspective and the infinite reoccurring multiverse guest. Where can the fine people find you, guys?
People can find me on Twitter at Undead3XVI. You can add me on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, all Undead3XVI. I do not have a Switch social security number. You can find anything I write, opinions, pieces, news, everything else at tickgamesnetwork.com, and the Gaming Perspective podcast every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
No doubt. You already know Lord Addict is in the bushes at work, so we won't shout him out right now. Lord Solve, what's going on, man? Where can the fine people find you, man?
Everybody can find me on Twitter at LordSovILP and PSN Xbox Live at BX Sovereign. Big shout out to you guys in Multiverse, man. Pleasure to have you guys finally, at least some of you on.
Some of you, all right? Got half the panel at least.
At least.
Oh no, we got the whole panel. You guys be forced out.
For real. 7-hour show.
7 hours. I was saying at that point, no doubt. So I'm Lord of the Iron Bank, Lord King out here, Labo shaming. No nerve.
Yo, check this out, right? So y'all see that giant statue over there, right? Y'all see that Voltron, right? It's a huge statue. I will have my son stand next to it, but he's upstairs playing games. This week on King of the Statues, every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to see this week, I'm going to debut a new series in the King of the Statues format. It's going to be our versus series. It's going to be a statue versus another statue. It might be a line versus another line. But this week, I'm debuting 4 statues.
Oh, we getting 4.
You're getting 4. I mean, I got a lot of boxes, so I gotta shake it up. I gotta shake it up, people.
All right.
But 4 statues, 4 epic statues, 4 statues that's going to yank at your childhood. I had somebody DM me and told me that Voltron made them cry when they heard the music, and he was like,
lit. So yeah,
he's like, where can I get it and how can I get it? I said, brother, it is sold out, and with 1,400, if you can get it aftermarket, you could probably get it for $2,000 on eBay if somebody is selling it to you. But also, Combat Talk with the King this week. Combat Talk. It comes out when I wanna. All right, when I want to watch a fight, is a fight worth my time? This weekend you had Sean Porter versus Ugas. I thought Ugas was gonna beat him. I watched the fight. Ugas did beat him, but did he get the victory? No, he didn't get the victory because Ugas is not managed by Al Heyman, and Sean Porter is, and they need Sean Porter to fight somebody else to lose with somebody with a name. All right, so I would have told you that anyway. If Ugas didn't knock him out, then Ugas was not going to win the belt. It was the UFC fight this weekend. Cognito and Sovereign can attest to that.
Eric Lewis in the bushes. He got smoked out here.
DeSantos did his dizzle.
Yeah, shout out to Sagano.
Yeah, it was definitely good.
Returns.
Yeah, it was definitely worthwhile. But catch us at lordsofgaming.net. Catch us at The Last Word on Fridays.
Oh,
I said it right. I said it right, and I've been practicing.
No doubt, man. Shout out to you, Bob, for that, man. You already know what it is, man. LordCognito. Shout out again to the Lords of the Multiverse. Finally got a chance to get this thing done. Hit that like, subscribe, all that, notification gang, all that. You already know the timestamps and the audio will be up by my man Lloyd Kaibatsu. Hopefully later tonight, tomorrow morning, the latest, and the links will be on that. Make sure you please check out lordsofgaming.net, all your latest gaming news, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of stuff going out. And yeah, man, some of the hottest riders up and coming in the game trying to get their pieces to you. So please support them when they can. Shout out to the stream team, Lord Sonaldo, El Boogie in the chat. I saw you. And Old School Style, MJ's a boss, and Lord Delapo. We're going to be still streaming. And actually, Lord Addict a little bit now. He's got his PC. So he will be a little bit more active now. And check out for that Dream Daddy challenge that he has to do. So that's going to be up there. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. The beard will be in the game. King of Statues number 3, like King said.
No, that's 4.
Number 4 is coming, but number 3 is out there. I want to give you that proper light on number 3. You know what I'm saying? It was really spectacular. If you want a piece of your childhood, please check it out. He's got one video of the unboxing, another video of a breakdown of the piece. It's fantastically done. Music is great, and he's got the best intro beat in the business. So please support my brother Lord King out there. And you already know Ebontis number 52. Last Word is up. Getting into that Destiny division and Anthem Looter Shooter talk. You already know division is coming, so we had to talk about that as well. Everybody, enjoy your Sunday. If anybody got anything else, we're good. All right.
Wait. There's more. No, I'm just joking. See you later.
Enjoy your Sundays. Peace.